No, from what Shannon was saying is basically we were going to go see him. Tommy, he almost died.
I know.
Like literally, he almost died.
I know.
They found him on the floor after 4 days of being on the floor and not hearing from him. He got sepsis.
So
I'm saying after his back surgery, I'm saying this because we're not on YouTube. Anyway, so we went to go see him this weekend in his new house in Evergreen. On our way there, he gets a flat tire on the side of the road. So we ended up picking him up, taking him to Big O, helping him with his tire, then going to his house. But
how's he doing now?
He's great, but he almost died.
He's moving out of the country, you know.
He bought a place in Cayman. He's not moving there.
Oh.
I think we're finally on YouTube, by the way.
Oh, now that I'm opening my mouth, we're on YouTube. Tommy, check your text.
Okay.
Well, I can say this about this
Yes.
text, because he says...
I got
We're
my
so
text,
happy.
but from you? I don't have anything from you.
There, check now.
There.
Go ahead, Shannon.
She says, daughter graduating from Julian's alma mater. That means something to Marco?
Mark Julian is Marco's
Okay.
son. He graduated YO Law as
He
well.
says, we are so happy she will
So,
be...
Suze, what does that mean? Like on the outs?
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead, Shannon.
They're not working together?
Nope.
So
Oh,
from
shit.
Mark, we are so
Well,
happy
is Marco-
she will be...
excuse me.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
Is he still working at all?
Oh yeah, he just bought a brand new building for his practice. It's
What?
gonna be gorgeous. Oh, it's gonna be beautiful.
I thought he's slowing down.
No, Marco. No, he's like you. Jeez,
Hey,
never slowing down.
how old is he?
He is 67.
Oh, he's a youngster, god damn it.
What's our code word again? Done. Over.
Okay, so he says Julian.
He says, we are so happy. This is from Mark to Marco, supposedly Marco. We are so happy she will be and cat turning.
Tom, do you copy?
Wait.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you about my 1961
No.
baseball collection of the New York Yankees someday.
Oh, you see my shirt?
Yes, sir.
You know,
That's fun.
I love wearing this shirt. It brings back memories.
He says I was buying his balls. What is he?
Station. Online at khout.com.
Are we up on YouTube yet? Suze, are we up on YouTube yet?
And you're on the air.
Anyway, I know, but if we're up on YouTube or streaming and you see my shirt, New York Yankees, here's the deal, okay? This
It's nice on you,
great.
Tom.
Huh?
That it looks nice on you.
Now, the reason I use this here is because it brings back great memories. Let me just tell you, growing up in New York as a kid, it was so arrogant of us, but we didn't even realize it. This is the question we would ask each other as we approached baseball season. God's honest truth. Now listen to what we would ask. Who will the Yankees be playing in the World Series? At the beginning of the baseball, every year. I mean, how many years did we go to the World Series? My God. But I remember that. And all of those wonderful players, and they were great to the kids. And anyway, all right, let's go back. Dwayne needs advice on a roof replacement. Dwayne, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Hi, Tom.
So, hail damage. Here's what I want to know. When did they say the hail happened?
The first contractor was listing like last year, June 21st. is when-
Okay.
Where they came up with the storm.
Do any of these want you to sign anything?
I haven't. The first one to be assigned something was just what he assessed, went up for the roof and looked. I said I wouldn't sign it. I'd talk to, he'd give me a call.
Okay, what's the name of that roofer?
Premier.
And then tell me about the second roofer.
Second one just came this morning.
Who is it?
Pristine. in
Okay,
Colorado
now there's
Springs.
only two roofers I want you to call. And I'm telling you, Dwayne, if you call these two roofers, in my opinion, there's a 100% chance you will love the experience and not experience any kind, well, I know you won't. You're not going to get ripped off, okay? Because they're solid. You call Petrali Roofing or you call Excel Roofing?
Okay, I have an appointment for Petrali to come out at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So
Then
that's
just sign the contract with him. You know what? I'm telling you, you can trust O'Malley and the gang. Just don't even think about it. Okay? I'm serious now. Whatever you can do what they say. That's how confident I am of these people. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. If you're on the phone, stay on the phone. I will get to you. We also have Dr. Joel Cherdak with us from DenverRegen.com. So, any of your questions, give us a call.
Hey, Tom,
Yes.
we found what you were listening to when you were a kid in those Yankees games you were talking about.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts
Right?
and Cracker
Yeah.
Jacks.
Yeah.
But everybody listens to that song.
This one was with the
Well, that's how it sounded when you were listening to it as a kid.
I know.
timey. What was the ball made out of? Horsehair?
Ah, shut up. You know, I'm not that old, you bastard.
I know.
I never was so disappointed when Kubak screwed up that line drive to him and the Yankees
I was
lost.
kidding when I replied to Mark. He was,
Thanks to you.
Are you?
Much appreciated. Do it again.
yes, sir?
Okay, I can say morons.
Yeah.
The YouTubies are there.
Let me get over to my channel here. Let me get over to me. Okay, good. You morons.
Okay, Mark Kunkel. Probid. My yesterday or tomorrow's guest canceled, Tom. I'm trying to fill it.
Who did?
Probig, he couldn't make it tomorrow, so I don't have a guest for tomorrow as of
I
now.
wouldn't panic. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool.
See, I'm getting a text back from the daughter saying she's going to hit Wendy's and Burger King. Blam!
Sweet, I'm all jealous. She's clogging her arteries earlier than me today. Dang it.
Normally she eats fish, so it's good.
Yeah.
Branching out.
Yeah, normally I eat fish too. That's what we all say.
So, like I say, Mark did go on about, I feel fucking stupid. I'm texting with Marco, who is an attorney. Hello.
Like you didn't know who Marco Bendinelli was.
All I said was, I miss having him on. He was a hoot. But then I said, you did a great job with both of your kids. Holy crap.
Oh.
A little overachieving rugrats. Golly.
Mark is so funny. He's kind of like a senior citizen with his text sometimes. I don't know where that text is. I didn't get a text. It's like, yeah, let me look. Oh, it's right there, mister.
Well, he's been to get off my lawn, guys.
Can I get you anything, bro?
I'm good, thanks.
Troubleshooter show, please hold a minute. Hey, Tom, did you see the question John Fuller once asked? I texted it and I put it on the screen for you because he'll be coming up for his 120 live here before too long.
Okay.
Just wants to ask if you see an uptick in cases following a holiday weekend. Drankety drank.
I'm
Did you
gonna
get your
look at it in a
drink on
second.
this weekend and risk it all? All right.
Sue, it is June 19th.
Yeah, Juneteenth. Yeah, I knew it was a Wednesday. That's all I knew. Okay, so now I have Mark Kunkel scheduled. Sweeto. Tom has YouTube way over modulated. Tommy, that's what Mark's saying.
Okay, so he wants me to turn down YouTube, right?
Yeah, under modulated.
Oh, he wants me to turn it up?
No, it says it's over modulated, so I was being a smartass. and
Okay,
saying,
then I'm going to
go
turn
ahead
it down.
and
He can tell me when it's good. I turned it down, and he can just let me know.
Okay, he's turning it down. Sound better? Let's see what these YouTubies are up to today. Oh, there's a Libby. I like John Libby. Jojo 1900. I've not seen you around here before.
Yeah, but there's only 4 comments, right?
We just got YouTube going, Chop. because Mark was out dealing with my flat. I had a nail in my tire, but I think my daughter was the last to drive it.
Roofers, they cause them.
Roofers caused a nail in my tire.
They do.
Looks like I'm still banned. Oh my gosh, MH. Did you get banned? Not by Mark. Must have been Tommy. Is that you, MH, I'm seeing? I bet it is.
I think that's the taxi guy, isn't it?
No, MH, I don't think he's a taxi guy, but it's possible. He's been on the YouTube for years. He must have said something wrong.
I think he insulted you, so I banned him.
Oh, I don't think MH would. I don't think he would. Is MH the one that always says something about the girls should shut up? It's either him or AG. Nobody seems to know. Oh, I know, MH, you were blocked, but I'm not sure why. Oh, you were a taxi guy for 20 years. Cool. Okay, John Fuller should be popping up on there soon.
Gross. Oh, shoot. He's not connected yet. 90 seconds, I think.
Oh, shoot. I left somebody on hold. Troubleshooter Show. What's your first name? Larry, hi, in a sentence or less. What would you like to talk to Tom about on the show today? Yeah, I thought you had a question like that. Hang on, let's ask Tom. Hang on. Larry is back. On bounds check. Issue. Okay, John. Hoping he connects soon. Oh, that's AG, the woman hater. Thanks, news. The woman hater.
Everybody needs a hobby.
Oh, man.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by 888heating.com, the risk-free service fee. That means if you call them, you pay $28 to get one item service, whether plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, or drains. They do the service now. Like, for example, a toilet, they'll do a service, or a water heater, they'll do a service, or whatever. And then, if you need more than the $28, meaning more than that one service, if there is a problem, they credit you the $28, but there's no obligation. 888heating.com, the risk-free service fee from a company we know and trust, 303-770-2776. So welcome to the show, folks. Let's go to the phones and see what we can do for you. Okay, I have Dr. Joel Cherdak with us, too, from DenverRegen.com. If you're looking for weight loss drugs that are compounded, no shortages, and way lower prices. Okay, Jennifer has a shout-out. Let's go to that one. Jennifer, what are you doing? What are you doing, Jennifer?
Hi, Tom.
Hey.
I'm doing well. We just moved into a new house.
Am I the only one who can hardly hear her? Am I the only one? Guys?
I could hear her,
I am.
Tom.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
Okay, we there?
Yeah, go ahead. Now I can hear you, dear. Go ahead.
Okay, I use your referral list as often as I can, and I had some great service from Steve the painter. He redid our deck last year, and the stain failed. And we waited until the spring to have it redone because he was real busy during the fall. And we had to get our house on the market and get pictures taken by a couple of days ago, and he was so busy, but he and his wife and his daughter came out, I think 2 days ago. I'm losing track of time.
Yeah.
He did the whole thing in one day, and it was just great. Just to have someone follow through on their work.
Isn't it nice to have a company that stands behind their work?
Absolutely.
You know, I have a funny story about him. Thank you, Jennifer, for calling. So I texted him, gave him hell about my front door, saying, man, you just did this door, and it's already showing some wear. And he says, what? I never did your door. And I remember that now. He came and did my stucco, and he did garage doors, but never did my front door. But it was a funny story because I sent him a text saying, what the heck's going on, Steve? And he says, wait a minute, I never did your door. All right, 303-713-TALK. Larry wants to talk about a bounced check. He got a check in the mail. I don't know why he's back. I thought we finished it, but he got a check in the mail for $1,000 from a company he did not recognize. And then he deposited it. Then it bounced, and he's upset about it. So I told him there's nothing he can do about his bank. His bank didn't do anything wrong. In fact, cashing a check you're not really sure of is kind of weird. So anyway, what happened, Larry? Why are you calling back, sir?
Well, I'm not really upset about it. My basic question is, how can the bank take money out of somebody's account and simply not inform them that they did so?
Okay, technically, or not technically, it would be nice. Obviously, they should let you know. They should say, by the way, this instrument failed and we took it out, okay? That's the way it used to be. Nowadays, they don't do that anymore, and I'll tell you why. Because they figure you have online access and you have statements that you check monthly or weekly or daily, whatever, and they don't do it anymore. They just don't. Everything is electronic, and they don't do it. Now, I want to give you the pure sense of what you asked. How can they take money out of your account? The real substance is you never really put money in your account. Nothing you deposit is yours until they are verified funds. Otherwise, you could make that argument for anything, any kind of check you deposit. Your bank is not responsible for that if you deposit bad instruments. They give many times what's called provisional credit, meaning after a few days, they give you access to the money, but it is provisional credit. And unless it goes through the entire ACH process or the automated clearinghouse process, it's not a permanent credit or debit. So we may not like it, but there's nothing illegal about it that I know of.
Well, thank you.
And I know what you're saying, but really, Larry, and again, I am not, trying to call you out on this, but it was kind of reckless to deposit a check you did not recognize. It could almost be fraudulent. Did you know that? Even though it's in your name. Now, no one could ever get you on fraud, ever. But what if you had bogus companies writing you checks all the time to try to see how many get through? Or let's say you did it on that other company's. I'm not saying you did, Dwayne. Larry. I'm not saying you did it. I'm just saying that it's weird. It's a weird practice. We never, that's why when I got this $22,000 check from this jug thing, I never even thought about cashing it. Well, maybe for a split second, too. But when I thought about cashing it, not to keep the money, but to think, what will happen? That's what I thought. What will happen? And of course, I didn't do it. 303-713-TALK. Steve has a Subaru issue. Hello, Steve. What's going on with your Subaru?
Good morning. Yeah, good morning, Tom. Thanks. 38 years I've been listening, and I never thought I'd have to do
man,
this.
No, seriously, Steve. I truly appreciate that. I really do. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
It was great. So I don't know. I'm at a very crucial point involving a brand new Subaru Outback, and I want to make sure I do the right thing.
When did you get the Subaru?
Yeah, I'm not quite at the lemon law problem yet, but I will be.
When did you buy it?
I'm in Colorado Springs. I purchased it on April 22nd of this year.
Okay, go ahead.
2024. Just about 3 weeks after that, I developed an oil leak, and I took it back to Huberger. Unbelievable. They couldn't believe it either. Brand new.
Yeah. How bad is the oil leak?
Yeah, bad. 292 miles, and they're doing a major engine repair. They said they had to drop the entire engine to get to this leak. They've not seen it on anything on these newer
Where
models.
is the leak coming from?
I don't totally understand. It's called a cam carrier top of the cylinder. The housing around the drive shaft, there's a silicone seal, and it's leaking oil. So they got to remove the entire engine and then put it back in. So they couldn't believe it either, and they even recommended getting a hold of Subaru America, which I did. Called, filed a report. Of course, it was just starting into the holidays, so I didn't hear anything back.
Yeah, but what I'm asking is this: what about it? I mean, they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do, and that is repair it.
Well, true. I don't want this car back.
Why? But why?
Well, they have to replace it. Now they're saying they're going to put a different engine in it, a long block instead of the one that was in it.
Wait a minute. What was in it? A short block?
I don't know.
A long block simply means they're putting in the whole engine, right? That's what I think they mean.
Yeah, the turbo.
But that's what they mean, I think. When they say short and long, I think what they mean is they're doing an entire replacement.
Okay. So I'm not at the point yet where they've offered anything to me. What I'm afraid of is
they said to you they're putting in a new engine, basically.
Right.
Okay,
I'm
go
not
ahead.
comfortable with that.
What's that?
I'm not comfortable with taking that car with a different engine.
Well, can I ask you something? It's not a different engine. It's a manufacturer's engine. It's a Subaru engine. I don't understand it. And listen, I know what you're saying. You're thinking in a perfect world, they shouldn't have to do it. Now, warranties are made for imperfect worlds. And we agree when we buy the car that it's warranted. Now, if they refuse to do it proper, I like that they're doing the whole engine rather than sealing it. I like that.
Okay.
In other words, I think, and I don't mean, this is not a put down. I think, Steve, this is more of a psychological thing. You thinking, wait a minute, I just bought a brand new car, and now the entire engine has to be replaced. I know what you're thinking, but there's probably a better chance that engine built specifically as an engine, or the long block, is going to be probably better. I don't know. In other words, you now have a record that you had a bad engine, they put a new one in. I don't understand why you think getting another car would be better.
Tom, what happens in 5 or 7 years when I go to trade it in, and that's on the list showing
nothing
on my vehicle?
It's warranty work. It wasn't a crash. It wasn't an accident.
Gotcha.
No, listen. I had do you know something? This is the truth. I had the same exact thing happen years ago.
Wow.
I bought a Subaru. I think it was some kind of wagon. Maybe I'm thinking Forester. I don't remember what the name was. And it was turboed. And I don't know why, but the engine went out. Literally went out. And I had about 6,000 miles on it. and they put a brand new engine in it. I remember it. Is yours turboed?
It is, yes.
You know what? I wonder how often that happens, seriously. Anyway, mine did not have an oil leak. Mine just went out. It just over-revved one time and just, I don't know, it just didn't run. And then they had to take it in and replace the engine. It happened after I went to a car wash. Maybe the kid in the car wash over-revved it. I don't know what happened, but they covered it. Are you thinking you're going to have less of a car? I don't understand the point you're making. And did you ask them for a car? Did you say, I'd rather have a new car?
I'm at that point with them. They finally called me today from Subaru America, and I said, that's an alternative that I'm looking at.
And
what did they just said, we need to do some more inspections. He still hadn't contacted me.
Well, who knows? Who knows? They may do it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that what makes you feel? Do you feel like the luck of the draw that if you get a new one, it's not going to have any problems, right?
Right.
And chances are it won't. But I think are you thinking with a new engine, now that you screwed with it all, it's going to somehow be different?
Yes.
Okay, I get exactly how you feel. I would not feel that way if it's an excellent shop. But
it is an excellent shop. It's in Colorado Springs.
You know, I'm going to tell you another thing. Sometimes on a individual installation of an engine, after market, same manufacturer's engine, but done after it's sold, after it's on the road, can actually be better than a factory install. But again, that's up to you. Here's the bottom line. I don't think you can demand a new car. I don't think you have the right under any laws I know to ask for a new engine. A new car.
Right.
But let me know how it goes and see what they say. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. Listen to this, folks. Listen to this. ProBid Energy is a solar company doing sales, installation, service. They do it all. ProBidEnergy.com. And in addition to that, they also have grants available for commercial systems to pay for damn near all of it. ProBidEnergy.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You know, we used to keep track. I remember this. It was kind of morbid. On holiday weekends, we would say, this is how many people died on the roads or were hurt or injured. Remember Labor Day, Memorial Day, all kinds of holidays. I want to ask John Fuller, who's a personal injury attorney. John, is there any truth to that on long holiday weekends? Are there upticks on injuries and accidents?
Yeah, you bet there are, Tom. The two ingredients are, warm weather and alcohol. When you've got these long weekends, people tend to party and get on the roads, and unfortunately that means we have more accidents. And we don't always get a flood of calls the first day or two following a weekend, but after a couple months go by and we look back, you can definitely tell by looking at the dates of the accidents when we see a spike. It's no different than big snowstorms and stuff. So, the prudent course of action is be careful out there. Do not drink and drive. Call a cab, get a designated driver. But if you find yourself victimized by a drunk driver and you're injured, give us a call. We can help take that burden off of your shoulders and help you focus on getting better and making the insurance companies do what they're supposed to do.
John, on that note, I actually had a conversation with a guy who said he doesn't carry a lot of insurance on his underinsured or uninsured because he said, I'm not going to take the responsibility for someone else. Now, can you explain how foolhardy that is? Because I know he's listening.
Yeah, boy, that's a really short-sighted way to look at the world. Here's the reality. 66% of the people in Colorado have either no insurance or only the state minimums of $25,000. And that means if you are completely without fault, there's a 2/3 chance that you're either going to have no recovery or be limited to the minimum amount required by the state of Colorado, which is $25,000. The entire purpose of uninsured motorist coverage is to add additional coverage on top of the at-fault driver and either his minimal limits or his complete lack of insurance, so that you and your loved ones actually have the possibility of recovering for your damages. So it's a completely backwards way of looking at it. Uninsured motorist coverage is to protect you and your loved ones.
That's right.
I heartily recommend that you get as much as you can afford.
John Fuller, Fuller Law, myaccidentlawyer.co, 303-597-4500. Excel Roofing, the best roofing company with the best practices and the longevity to prove it. Listen, here's a very simple statement that will protect you. They don't take a cent until you're content. How about that one? You can't go wrong there. ExcelRoofing.com. Let me explain this to you. I know the company. I know the crews. They're great people. And right now, you can get a quote on your roof without ever having anyone come to your door or go out or do anything. All you have to do is go on your computer or phone, go to ExcelRoofing.com, put in your address, and bang, that you get the Excel bid on what your roof will cost. It's really easy. Excel as in excellent, EXCEL, excelroofing.com. And you can call 303-761-6400. All right. FixMyHome.com is the website. Fix It 24/7 is the company. Now, I've known this company since George took it over years ago, and I've known George for years and years and years, and I'll tell you why. Because he runs quality companies, and right now, $39 gets you an extreme clean and check of your AC. Get it done before the heat. How many times do I have to say it? For new customers, you will never believe the complete and thorough cleaning they do. And they give you a no-breakdown guarantee. FixMyHome.com, 720-526-3939. Over.
Thank you. You son of a... that wasn't on the air. And, of course, because that was so long, you only got like a minute.
Yeah, I know.
So they said, and this, I'm not going to use any names, but they said, we are sorry, because of that client's history with us, we are not willing to suffer the consequences of moving the spot.
Who is that?
Somebody that we
I'll
might
text
have just
you.
been talking to. But that I was like, well, he asked to move it. They're like, oh, well, in that case, go ahead. But otherwise, they didn't want to deal with the blowback from it.
Troubleshooter show. Please hold a minute. That's funny.
It's like, ooh, okay, so there's issues there, huh? Love it.
Troubleshooter show. What is your first name? Chris, hi, in a sentence or less. What would you like to talk to Tom about on the show today?
Good morning, Troubleshooter show. Did you want to talk to Tom and the gang? Okay, same here, but I've been doing it since '95. So, hey,
so it's a personal injury.
Some questions or look something up for you?
Okay.
630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK. RenewHomeInnovations.com. That tells you when it comes to showers, custom, beautiful showers that are unique to you, you can get them done in 2 or 3 days with 72 months to pay no interest. That's RenewHomeInnovations.com, 303-904-2000. Just beautiful showers. No thresholds to walk or stumble over. No tubs anymore. Get rid of them. RenewHomeInnovations.com. So we have some questions. Dr. Joel Cherdak, he's with denverregen.com. Let me open up his mic here and get on this wide shot. And we're talking about, somebody wants to know about the pills, semaglutide. They don't like shots. I think they're little wussy-wusses.
Well, just a little bit about the oral compounds. So the oral compounds, you have to take them, they have to go through your digestive tract, which means that your stomach acid's going to eat them up, what we call the bioavailability, or your body's ability
But you
to
still
absorb
get
it.
some glutide.
You still get some, but it's far less effective than the injectables, which is why we don't sell them. We don't offer them to patients because they're really not efficacious. They don't get the job done. And so, patients are welcome to try them with other clinics. It's just not something that we're willing to offer because it just doesn't do the trick.
Somebody also wants to know, what's the difference between semaglutide and tirzepatide? Because I talk about both of them.
So tirzepatide is a little bit more of a specific drug, and it's a bit stronger. The best way to describe it is that it targets the satiation centers a little bit better than semaglutide does. It has a little less side effects, and it works more quickly. That being said, semaglutide works great for a lot of patients. What happens sometimes with semaglutide is occasionally we'll have patients that plateau, or patients that it doesn't work as effectively as we would like it to, and then we'll recommend the tirzepatide, and almost invariably the tirzepatide gets the job done in terms of the patient's goals for weight loss.
All right. And as far as the availability, both are equally available right now?
Yes. Mm-hmm. As everybody knows, there's a high demand for these drugs, so they're starting to see shortages on the compounding side as well. But as of now, we can get them. We're not having any
Where do they
problems
come
getting
from? Do you know where these compounds come from? How do they make them?
Well, the pharmacy that we work with, the compounding pharmacy, is down in Texas, and they get all of their precursors from FDA-approved
But
facilities.
what I mean is, what is semaglutide? What is it? I mean, where does it come from? Humans? From animals? Where does it? I mean, I'm just curious. Do you know?
It's a synthetic peptide. So what they do is, all proteins are made up of amino acids and amino acid strings. A lot of and these are proteins that do everything in your body. They're hormones, basically. And so what this does, it's a short chain amino acid. It mimics the hormone in your body. It's a hormone called glucagon. So people have heard of GLP-1. That's glucagon-like protein. That's the type of drug that this is. Glucagon is the protein that your body produces to tell yourself that you're satiated. So it just mimics the satiation protein in your body, causing your body to feel like you're full.
Okay. So the reason I ask where it's from, somebody on YouTube was talking about what it was. So I forget what they said, but they were talking about where they get it from. I'm talking about the semaglutide itself. Like, how do they make the drug? Like, what do they make it from? What is semaglutide? Like, they obviously don't harvest it from people, right? Just like hormones are not taken from people. They're bioidentical hormones, either from plants or from animals or something, right? And the same with insulin and all of that. So do you know how? I mean, if you don't know, that's fine. I just wondered because someone was talking about it. Anyway, do you know?
I can tell you what it is. So what it is, if you're familiar with what an amino acid is, an amino acid is the basic building block of a protein. So many amino acids together create a protein. If you have just a short chain of amino acids, it's called a peptide. And that's what this is. It's a peptide. And these peptides they exist in your body produces them, and they're signals. They're like hormone signals.
All right, so when I get semaglutide or tirzepatide or whatever I get through the compounding pharmacy or through you or through anything, where is it coming from? I mean, like where is the sequence made?
I'm not exactly sure.
I don't know either, and that's
is.
why I'm curious, because someone said it came from, I forget what they said. I'm trying to find it right now as I'm typing here. But they were trying to, the argument they were making is it comes from, I don't know, animals or something?
No, it's synthetically put together.
Okay.
So you have the individual amino acids. I don't know exactly how the chemical process works to string them together, but it's the same way that they make insulin now.
Okay, here's what, I just looked this up here. It says, glutamine, inositol, which is an alcohol sugar, glutamine, and special enzymes and peptides are all put together to form semaglutide.
Right. So basically, they take the individual amino acids, and they put them into a string, a short-chain string, which is a peptide, and that's what this is.
And by the way, if you guys have any questions about this or any weight loss, give us a call, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, or problems, questions, and complaints. Now, I have a lot of important consumer updates as well coming up, and I want you to stay tuned for that. Let me see. We also have, of course, a discussion on, this is a big discussion coming up on intellectual property and AI, because this is causing unbelievable problems when it comes to likenesses. Now, we're talking about likenesses, like what people look like. How much of that can be protected? Like, if you look the way you look, it's not patented, it's not trademarked, it's even different than a name. So how can they stop someone from doing that? We're going to talk about that and more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Don't forget waterpros.net, the best water systems at the lowest prices, bar none. Drinking water, all you can drink at the kitchen sink, $1,400 fully installed. Water Pros, 303-862-5554.
Yeah, all right.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com.
A couple slowdowns throughout the Denver metro for the late morning commute. Starting downtown, I-25 northbound after Alameda reports of a crash. No word of lane blockage. We are seeing slow traffic back from Lincoln Street and Broadway. Only about 2 or 3 minutes of delays. I-25 southbound showing highway speeds through town. I-70 east and westbound flowing free to and from the DIA area. Leaving DIA, Pena Boulevard southbound. We're seeing some busy traffic around Tower Road. Lots of folks leaving the airport this morning. Fox 31, pinpoint weather. It's a warm week ahead of us. Partly cloudy skies. High 80 degrees, overnight low of 53. Tomorrow cloudy with a high of 84. The current temperature in Denver is 70 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, Mark Swan, 630 K-House.
Use the experts on hiring for professional roles. Visit srgexpress.com to connect with professionals in accounting, IT, and engineering. The specialized recruiting group takes an individual approach, placing people in contract and full-time roles. srgexpress.com.
Okay, it's my turn to tell you about my favorite topic, whole house fans and what it saves me in AC. Now listen, I cannot say enough about QCcolorado.com, quiet, cool comfort. So what it is, it's not magic. It's a fan that is mounted in your attic that draws air from your home out through the attic. It's that simple. It's quiet. It's cool. It's remote controlled. And here's what it does. It's powerful and quiet. Did I say that? No wiring in the walls because of the remote control. Now, what happens is it keeps your temperatures level and even. That alone, just doing that, cuts down on AC. That's right. It cuts down on the need for AC and how hard your AC works when it is on. And you save a ton of money. I can tell you, 80 to 90%, meaning your air conditioner only has to work 10, maybe 30% of the time, depending on your use. And that's QCcolorado.com. And it's someone that I absolutely use and I paid for and I love. QC Colorado, 303-800-3419, 303-800-3419. Now, here's something else I do. A fixed indexed annuity. Yes, I do. Now, you don't put all your money in it, but you put some of your money in it, and it creates a stable growth guaranteed in writing. It creates a stable guarantee never to lose a dime, and also guaranteed income. Now, you can find out more about yours at mymoneymyway.com, 303-779-6600.
Yay. Hey, Robert De Niro says that Trump wants to destroy the world. We better listen to him.
You know, De Niro hates that son of a bitch. Hates him. I mean, it's like, you know what? There really is a Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah, and it does seem to really afflict people who've only known what to say when people write it for them.
Oh, goodness.
303 Martino wasn't loaded.
All right. Okay. Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
Just so you know, we're out for Juneteenth as well. No show, Wednesday the 19th.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Middle of the damn week. Middle of the damn week. How am I supposed to plan something fun middle of the damn week?
What day is it? The 19th?
It's a Wednesday, and I put it on the show calendar. I just wanted to give you
I just need
a
to let
heads up.
Stephanie know. Stephanie asked me, and I said, not my Stephanie. Stephanie, whatever. I told her the wrong thing.
Juneteenth. Yeah, we're out. It's a thing.
We out.
And then I wonder what our 4th of July holiday is. Shannon, do you have any idea?
Probably trying to blow my thumb off with a black cat.
It might be on the 4th of July.
If Memorial Day is any indication of damage I'm going to do to myself.
I look.
I have an inside connection now.
To fireworks?
Is it
No.
June 19th?
Yes, Wednesday the 19th, no show. Best of.
That's weird.
The 4th is on a
Don't say
Thursday.
it.
2 days off, the 4th and 5th. At FEMA,
Ba-ba-da.
we would start it at noon.
We get Juneteenth as a Monday holiday. July 4th is a Thursday. Yeah,
Wait,
we get.
Juneteenth.
I'm reading YouTube's comment, Tommy.
Oh.
YouTube, a moron. We get Juneteenth off, the 19th.
Yep.
Period. End of story. Oh, man.
All right. Like it or not, more you.
630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. So, we've heard about actual inflation, but do we know really how it's affecting us? Now, the top states for inflation when it comes to groceries, where do you think? I don't understand. This is a wide mixture of states, and I don't understand the array. I just don't understand. There's no rhyme or reason in this array. But Mississippi, Hawaii, and Kansas, for example, pretty high rates of inflation for groceries, followed by West Virginia, Kentucky, and Maine, then Montana, Oregon, New Mexico, Wyoming. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Now, when it comes to actual inflation items, the number one item affected by inflation, if you had to take a guess, Suze, if you grocery shop now and then, and I don't mean that as, I just mean when you grocery shop, have you noticed any one item that is affected most by inflation? I have a list here of the things affected the most.
It seems like eggs have
You're
gone up,
right.
Tom.
That's exactly right. So why is that? Do you know that they're up 50%?
That's a lot.
Holy crap. Do you know that beef, 40%? Flour, 36%. Now, sugar and substitutes, which we shouldn't be carrying so much, right? Now, hold on. Beef roast, 40%. Beef steaks, 32%. But sugar, 34.9, so 35%. Carbonated drinks, which you don't drink at all, you guys. Right?
Really, we don't.
No. And I don't either anymore, right? Did you notice? I don't drink it. When I come to the station, because you guys have it there, but I have stopped completely any carbonated drinks. I don't have any. And let's see. Fruit, salads, now butter and margarine up 30%. But I just can't believe how badly beef and eggs and flour, wow, sugar, yeah. Okay, anyway, in general, it's all supermarkets items, all grocery items are up in general about 25% when you average everything out. That is one tremendous increase in what people are spending. Holy crap. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now, as far as the stock market, you know, people are saying the stock market's great. Other people say it's volatile. Other people say it's this, it's that. Well, you know what? It has been great, no matter how you look at it. But there is something called a risk sentiment gauge, whether people are willing to take risk or not. And it's different than consumer confidence. Consumer confidence is a really important gauge for regular people, meaning for all of us. How do we feel about the economy? And consumer confidence is not that bad right now. But the risk sentiment gauge, they say, really gives you more insight because it really surveys and looks at the habits of investors, people who are actively investing. And if they're willing to take a risk on things, it shows more positive outlook. And right now, there's two things they're willing to take a risk on, which says they don't believe in the economy. Those two things, the 10-year Treasury bill. Why? Because they don't believe in the insecurity of a risk investment. So treasuries are usually no risk, whether it's the T-bill, the note, or the notes or the bills. First of all, you have the shortest duration is the T-bill, and then you have the note, and then after that you have the bills, or yeah, that's the way it is. And then you have TIPS, which are the inflation protected bonds. But to make a long story short, when people start flocking toward those instruments, it tells you that they're feeling a little wary about the economy. Another thing that tells you that, they're going toward gold. So when people go toward gold and government securities, it's telling you they don't feel good. Now, even though, you know, the normal consumer may not see this right now, that's where the investments are going. But as far as not taking risks, they're not taking risks mostly, if this makes sense, or the least risk is being taken on oil. People have no clue what oil is going to do. Next is the S&P 500, believe it or not. They don't want to take a lot of risks on that. They're not taking flyers. They're investing mostly in, solid stocks. The NASDAQ is also off when it comes to risk, and the U.S. dollar. So if you look into the investing habits right now, it's looking like people are pessimistic, yet the stock market keeps going up. So it's a very weird time right now. There are no fundamentals that are responsible for what the market's doing. Nothing. It is all consumer sentiment. But when it comes to investor sentiment, even though many of them are flocking away from investing in stocks, the stock market still seems strong. And that could be because of what some people call the odd lot theory. That theory is when people don't know what to do, a lot of unsophisticated investors will do the wrong thing. And that's what they're saying could be the reason for the stock market going up so much, is that you have a lot of unsophisticated investors flooding the market, where the more sophisticated ones are going more toward securities, no risk, low risk, and commodities like gold. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
Are you done?
Now, Impact Traffic.
That was a long.
Report is sponsored.
Who just put all those things
Inster.com.
next to my
A couple slowdowns throughout the Denver metro.
Well, okay, so long story. I was on the phone and I was trying to do a cut and paste.
Jesus
And it
Christ.
turns out that went in there.
From Lincoln Street and Broadway, only about
So Euro and Genesis, do you want to delete that stuff and just type Euro and Genesis?
No, I got it.
east
Don't
and
worry
west
about it.
Okay.
free to and from the DIA
Just
area.
fucked me up.
Leaving DIA, paint.
I didn't mean to. I cut and paste from the internet because I was on the
I don't
phone with
care.
somebody.
I can correct it.
I was actually on the phone with Jackie up there at the North Shore Lodge. Remember where you landed the helicopter?
Yeah.
I was booking a room with her for the
I
summer.
thought you had a
Current
place
temperature
there.
in Denver.
No, I don't. Not permanently. I don't have a place anywhere. It's nice being a gypsy.
I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Shopping for new blinds? At Blindster, we offer over 50 different blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices, custom made for your windows, and shipping is free. Shop at home and order 10 free samples of any product before you buy. Blindster.com.
Hey, you want to talk about the greatest deals anywhere in plumbing? Well, that's what he claims, and he says you can put me to the test. And we're talking about Europlumbing, Colorado.net. Europlumbing, they say they'll come and do a water heater, complete installation, take out the old one and haul it away, and new supply lines for water and gas, starting at $13.99 for a 40-gallon, $14.99 for a 50-gallon. And listen to this, any size, anywhere, they'll do it cheaper. Put them to the test. Europlumbing, Colorado.net, 303-668-6844. Hey, Genesis Total Exteriors, love talking about Genesis. I know Mark and his team. I've known him for years. Honesty, integrity, everything on the outside of your house. Roofing, gutters, soffits, fascia, siding, stucco, windows, doors, decks, painting. They do it all. If you have storm damage, think Genesis for one source, one place, one stop, or any kind of interior home improvements as well. In fact, they're doing mold mitigation and detection without the exaggeration or fear. 303-679-8509, 679-8509.
Hey.
Now, don't F it up anymore.
Would you all
Well,
want to
what
go
else
if
am I
no one else
supposed to
is
do?
going?
Oh, man, how the hell?
Hey, so why did your volume drop about an hour ago?
Okay, because, do you want me to turn it up?
Yes, please.
Okay, there we go. How's that now?
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. Thank you.
I mean, I pumped the hell because, never mind, it's a long story. It's a long story.
All right.
But my volume's good now, right?
Yes, sir.
Is there a way, let me ask you this, okay? Because
know.
everything's perfect here. I got the YouTube dialed in. I got the output dialed in for you. Is there a way for you, not me, to turn up the caller's volume as opposed to in the return audio? Can you turn up not my volume, but the audio from the caller? Well, actually, in return, I don't get me anyway. So can you turn up just the return to me?
Well, I can't affect the actual rack unit.
So the caller
I
volume.
don't think I can. The caller volume is whatever I can pull up on that pot, on the potentiometer, on the board, the fader.
Yeah.
When it's
So what?
maxed,
So
it's
caller
maxed.
volume is. Are you telling me each line has its own volume?
Not each line. I'm saying that
The fader
it all
for the
depends on how it
fader
comes
for the
to us.
Comrex, you mean?
Well, actually, just to the issue of the caller, you know that it's every conceivable connection quality issue.
But in general, though, the return volume of the caller are you saying cannot be turned up?
Just what I can affect on the board with the fader. Just what I can push up or pull down or.
But where is it right now is what I'm asking. Can it be turned up?
Yeah, I mean, I just have it at 0 when they come on.
Oh.
It's just like the mic level.
Okay.
You know, it's just like me and Sue's. I can change the levels a little bit, and I can ride it a bit. Like
the reason
earlier,
is,
we had some
this is
woman
the
who
thing.
was-
When I turn up the return to YouTube, it turns me up in my own ear more than it turns up the return with the caller. And therefore, I can hear the caller perfectly. I can hear everything perfectly, but when I talk, it blasts myself.
Oh.
And if I turn down my headphones, it turns down everybody. Does that make sense?
A little, yeah.
No, seriously.
I'd say I'd love to see how it's wired, but I don't want
It's
to.
wired. It's wired exactly the way you recommended it.
I understand that. I'm wondering why you're hearing yourself so loud when you're turning up just the return.
Because you need me at a certain level going out to you.
Yeah.
Okay. That level is picked up by my headphones. Then coming back from the station, I pick up return.
Well, hopefully you're not hearing yourself back.
No, of course not. It's mix minus. I have it. Now the problem is when I hear myself back, I hear it back on locally, and it's turned up loud compared to the return. That's all. It's not balanced.
Well, it is that. You know, it's almost like RGB. It's like mixing the three colors to come up with something, right? Because you have local, return, and...
Yeah. Well, that's really all I
What
have
else
is
is
local
it?
and return.
Yeah. Well, there's 3 knobs on every Comrex. How you, how we hear you, and how you hear us. Because there's send, there's a local adjustment, there's a send adjustment, and a return adjustment.
Yeah, I have both. But if I turn the return down, it turns down YouTube. See, that return
I see. Oh, that's
that
weird.
return audio goes to YouTube.
Here you go.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the show. And we're here to solve your problems, answer your questions, and take your complaints of any kind. And after a long holiday, many times we have a lot of complaints. Let me go to this. Okay. What does it cost, somebody wants to know, for terzepatide 50 units? Well, that's a hard thing. And for those listening, 50 units is 1 injection. And if you take 4 injections a month, okay, 4 injections a month, you get for the supply they give you, and each injection is 50 units. So I'm going to do this real quick. And you get 4 a month. So for their supply, you get 12 injections at what price? Hold on. There you go. Go ahead.
Basically, to do the math, that would be anywhere between 10 to 12 weeks.
That's what I'm just saying. So,
Right.
so
So it
I can
comes
do
out
that.
to be-
So how much is monthly is this terzepatide, or excuse me, how much every 12 weeks? It's about 400 and something, or how much is it a month, or what? How does it work?
For which drug?
Terzepatide.
For terzepatide, it's $425 a month.
So 425, and then another half of that for the duration, right? Is that what it? No. It's so for 3 months. That's what it.
425 times 3.
Okay, so that's what times 3
divided by 12.
Okay.
We'll give you your weekly price.
Okay, so $106 a week.
Yes.
Per injection.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, all right. So, but I don't understand why somebody wants a price per injection.
Well, because some clinics do that, and they ask their patients to come in once a week for an injection. We don't do that. We give you your own supply, and you're able to do that yourself. And we don't charge by the week. We charge monthly for a 3-month supply.
All right. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now, on consumer news, again, we have a lot happening, and there are things you need to know about. Do you know, this is what I find insane. They took everything we have, our keys, our cell phones, everything we have on our body. What do you think came back with the most dangerous bacteria. Give me a guess, Joel. Give me a guess. Suze, what do you think?
I would say your phone.
No, I would think so too, because here's what I noticed one time. I take my phone and put it down places sometimes on the sink in the restroom, when I'm washing my hands, when I'm, whatever. And then you pick up your cell phone, you don't realize it's being contaminated. And that's true, it is. It's very contaminated. But I'm going to tell you, huh?
TV remote?
Oh, this is something you carry around in the public. And no, we'll talk about it. I'm going to tell you.
Money?
And well, actually, this doesn't include money in this study. Weird. We don't use money anymore. What are you talking about? We don't use it. I'm going to tell you the number one thing with dangerous bacteria coming up.
I was going to say hookers, but that might be offensive.
Oh, there's something. Okay, hold on.
Go on.
Tom, do you copy?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was thinking of a hotel TV remote.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. But they're talking about stuff like on an everyday basis.
I was going to say, like, doorknobs.
You don't carry it yet. Doorknobs, yeah. How about you right now? Jewelry?
Troubleshooter show. Please hold a minute.
Tom still doesn't wear a watch, huh?
Troubleshooter show. What's your first name? Troubleshooter show. What's your first name? Larry, in a sentence or less. What did you want to talk to Tom about on the show today?
That's got caffeine in it, I'm sure.
Yeah, it does.
All right. Yeah, I mean, we can. It's definitely something we would put on the show. Do you have a few minutes to talk to Tom, see what he thinks about all that business? Yeah. Okay, well then just call us back. I mean, yeah, for sure. We're willing to look into it. Tom's willing to talk to you about it, but that is where we would start. So if you want to wait to see if you hear back from them first and then give us a call, that's fine. It is weird. I've not heard of that before. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Either that or maybe somebody used your name to get a shot. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I mean, I'm not saying that is what happened, but or it's just possible it was double entered or something. I don't know, Larry. But yeah, give us a call when you want to chit chat about it. I don't know. Yeah, that I don't know. I have no I mean, that's a question for Tom for sure.
Susan was going to have a caller for her.
I mean, possibly. I would think if there was something wonky going on, we'd have gotten a call more than from just you. And I don't recall, you know what I'm saying? I think we would get an influx of those calls. As far as taxpayers paying for it, I think they had an abundance of those shots anyway, so I'm not sure it would have made a difference price-wise whether you actually got it or not. You know what I'm saying? It was probably already paid for because they ordered a bazillion of them, and only 1 million people wanted them. But yeah, give us a call back, Larry, if you want to chat with Tom about it. Okay. Let us know. We're live till 2. We're live 10 to 2 rest of the week.
Ken said the pen.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, where are you hanging out at? Oh, okay.
Restaurant or something.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. Well, just let us know. Be good. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pretty bored sitting there.
They've been talking about the drug a lot.
Yeah.
I tried to find, by the way, deep fake videos. I can't find any. I don't know where they supposedly are. There's supposedly tons of them. I can't find them.
Smells like pizza.
I got bacon and eggs from sales side. So
Oh, that's just my COVID issues then.
yes,
Smelling things weird.
Hey,
Smells good.
Suze.
Yeah.
Did you ever get your taste back?
I have my taste and smell back by 95%, 90%.
I was thinking you never got it back because you're still with Mark, but.
All right, 10 seconds here, guys.
Tuesday at 4, we'll have full coverage of the closing arguments in the politically motivated trial of Donald Trump and look ahead to the effect that the outcome is going to have on this great nation. Join me at 4.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the show, here to help you any way we can. Solving problems, answering questions, and taking complaints. Love what I do, and I really hope it makes a difference. Frank Duran, the real estate man, speaking of a difference, will do an evaluation of your home. People ask, Tom, why do you advertise this free market analysis? Now, what is it all about? Seriously. It is not an appraisal, but in my opinion, more important, because Frank has sold thousands of homes. And what he does is says, this is what I think your house will sell for. And he bases it on all the factors he's seeing and the current market. It's not BS. It's something he does each and every day, and it's free of charge. So what he does is he takes a look, square footage, interest rates, supply and demand, the neighborhood, the comps, and all of that, and comes up with a number that he feels he can get for it. And if you want to go further, he can tell you what you will clear or net after paying your expenses, because he has all of this knowledge, and it's wonderful to have this information. And you can find it all out free of charge with no obligation. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. All right. So we're talking about anything, problems, questions, and complaints. And I'm going to give you now what I told you I would give you. And that is the most dangerous thing on our bodies that we carry with us, in contact with us. And I don't know how it gets contaminated, but it does. According to this study, that is, 95% of watch bands are contaminated with dangerous bacteria. It was the journal Advances in Infectious Diseases found that 95% of these wristbands, of our watch bands, in some cases, they're wristbands if you don't have a watch. But in other words, things you wear around your wrist that get contaminated with staph infections, E. coli, and other bacteria. Now, why? Because somehow when we wash our hands or when we are doing things, any number of things, these wristbands are on, but they don't get washed. And even though we think we're washing our hands, we're not actually taking off the wristbands and disinfecting them, and they are trapping moisture and bacteria and growing. A lot of people think that, let's just wipe it down with with disinfectant wipes. That would be okay. But people don't normally do that. Not on the strap, not on the screens, not on the knobs, and they trap this bacteria. For example, you want to make sure all of the watch's sensors, everywhere it touches your skin, everywhere it can pick up dirt, everywhere it can pick up this. They say to use a microfiber cloth and some kind of a spray that will not, of course, destroy it. You got to clean not just the band, but the backs and front of the device, whether it's a watch or it's some kind of smart device. Again, they claim 95% are contaminated with dangerous bacteria, not just regular bacteria, and people are probably getting sick from it because of what they found in these tests.
I'm slightly grossed out, Tom.
I never thought of it, but see, I don't wear a wristband of any kind.
Oh, I wear two different ones.
Now, when you think about it, Suze, I'll bet you don't actually wipe it down, do you?
Not as much as I should be.
No, but think about it.
Sure.
We don't, do we? We simply put it down. I mean, not put it down. We put them on. Now, we wash our hands. Sure, we do. Yeah. And we assume, okay, we're washing our hands. But what we don't know is the stuff being washed sometimes will get splashed up, or our watch will, or our wristbands, whatever they are, will pick up contaminants and grow and turn into, or not turn into, but grow organisms that can infect us. And they claim that it's not just a theory right now. They're saying it will make you sick. Now, isn't that weird that that's one area that people don't think about? Another area, of course, cell phones, but now I think more and more people are becoming aware of cell phones. It would be nice if they made these cases that, I just bought a new case. I love the case. It would be nice if they made these cases antibacterial, if there is such a thing. You know what I'm saying? Just make them so they resist bacteria to begin with. But they say all kinds of things like that people do not even think about. Now, Deputy Chopper was talking about remote controls, like if you're in a hotel room. Now, obviously, they can be terribly germ-infested. Hotel rooms are a different story. But as far as stuff that we actually use, the stuff that we actually use, those are on our bodies every day. We don't think about picking up bacteria. Now, here's another thing, too, our shoes. Now, you would think that's obvious. A lot of people don't want you to wear shoes in their house because of that. But I don't see how you get around it. Your shoes are going in the toilet. Your shoes are going, especially if you're a man, you know, and you wear shoes and you're in near a urinal. My God, what you pick up, and then you bring it into your house. Do you wear shoes in your house, Suze? I used to, I don't know.
I'm not great about it. I'll go for a run and then wear my sneakers through the house.
Yeah, you know what? It's really, you know what determines if I'm wearing my shoes? If Stephanie's watching. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I'm wearing my shoes now. I mean, Joel, you got your shoes? Yeah, you got your shoes. Anyway, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Also, on the front of this legislation I talked about, and here's what I'd like to know about. How much of your face is protected? If you think about it, you did not create your face. And I mean this sincerely. You did not create it. Whoever did create it didn't apply for a trademark or copyright. And it may be unique, and it is unique, but is it protectable? This is the argument going on right now. Think about it. It's your face. Now, if they took my face and claimed it was Tom Martino, and he endorsed A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever, you could probably make a claim that it's a false statement. But using my face, could I claim it was an infringement of some kind? The law has never been written for that. Now remember, we're not talking about a photograph of me. We're talking about deep fake. And right now, these videos online, even though, I'll be honest with you, I have never seen a deep fake video ever. I hear about them. It says last year there were more than 21,000 deep fake pornographic videos online. Now, I don't want to make a joke about pornography or anything like that, but where? Where do you find, no, seriously, and I don't mean like I want to see them. I want to know, I have never once seen I've tried to look for videos, these deep fake videos that people are complaining about. Where do you find them? I don't know where to find them. But in any case, they say that there are people like they have videos of celebrities and athletes and all of that making all kinds of statements and endorsements, etc., that have not actually been made. So what they're doing is both Democrats and Republicans together are trying to co-author legislation that would crack down on images. I don't know how it can happen. They're not claiming to be the people. They are simply similar, but they're not identical. The legislation would make it a crime with criminal penalties of prison and fines to use someone else's face. So how they're going to enforce it, I don't know. And how close does the image have to be? Where does the law end? I wanted to get my intellectual properties attorney on to talk about it. He's not available today. But because a lot of people are taking long weekends. But really, if you think about it, why do you own what you look like? Again, it's not something you created. It is not truly an intellectual property. The intellectual property would be you acting, maybe. Like you acting, you creating, you doing something, your photograph. But when it comes to artificial intelligence, what is it? Well, they're quickly rewriting it. They're going to make it, if they have their way, because it's bipartisan, they're trying to make the use of someone else's image a violation of the law. Now, Pornhub, by the way, seriously, they were interviewed, and they said they removed non-consensual material that are deep fakes. Now, But they say that almost no site can stop these deep fakes from being uploaded. They can only go and remove them. And of course, Suze, who would you think is the number one celebrity image being deep faked?
Oh, God, Taylor Swift.
Exactly. How did you know that? Exactly. And apparently the number one. So how will you know when you see, well, obviously, if you see these porns or you see things like she's endorsing Trump or something, you'll kind of know it's a deep fake. But again, it's new law, brand new spanking law, and no one knows how to deal with it at this point. No one does. 303-713-8255. You can also call 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466.
Regen Revolution has helped me so much in terms of getting mobile and active again, and now they'll be helping me and you at their new location near Old Town in Arvada. It's an expanded facility, so an even better version of the great care you've come to know from Regen Revolution. The combination of regenerative medicine and more traditional treatment modalities have gotten me back to being able to play sports and exercise in ways I thought I might never do again. Learn more at regenrev.com. That's REGENREV.com.
By the time you fill up the car, buy groceries.
Oh, sorry, my fault.
So you end up swiping the credit card, and that traps yourself into higher interest credit card debt.
You're coming in next, though, I promise.
American Financing can help you. Interest rates have dropped into the fives. That's the lowest they've been in a long time, and certainly a lot lower than your credit card rate. American Financing is saving their customers an average of $854 a month by using the cash in their home to pay off that higher interest debt. That's like $10,000 a year. So make the free 10-minute phone call to see how much money you can save. American Financing doesn't charge any upfront fees, and you might even be able to delay 2 mortgage payments, saving yourself even more money. So call American Financing today, 303-695-7000, 303-695-7000, online, americanfinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. APR for rates in the 5 starts at 6.799% for well-qualified borrowers. Call 303-695-7000 for details about credit costs and terms.
Now, when it comes to cleaning your air conditioner, you might think, why? It's not just a cursory check and a vacuuming of the cabinet. Your air conditioner can be affected, its longevity can be cut down, its lifespan, if not cleaned. Dirt is the number one killer of furnaces and ACs. You can affect efficiency by 30%. So Fix It 24/7 wants to clean if you're a new customer, they want to show you what they can do for $39. It's an unheard of price. That's why it's for new customers. And they'll go through your entire system and clean it for $39, your AC with a no breakdown guarantee. And it's also a tune and check for the coming season. That's fixmyhome.com. Fix It 24/7, 720-526-3939. John Fuller is a personal injury attorney. Now, when you're injured, or you think you're injured, or you just got into an accident, any one of the above, you can call John without any kind of obligation, cost, or fee. Just call him, and you will talk to him. You don't call a call center or an intake committee. When you call the number, they can put the call through to John Fuller. Fuller Law. Now, he'll talk to you, give you advice. If you decide to hire him, no obligation. He works on a percentage fee basis, and then, of course, he works tenaciously for you. That's John Fuller, where he is pledged only to take the number of cases that he works personally. 303-597-4500. 597-4500. Here's the website, myaccidentlawyer.co.
Think I...
Something new that happened on my cell phone. It allows me to I just noticed that. Like I saw someone that used to be like when you had a machine you could do that, but and then it used to be on a cell phone once it went to voice media. But you noticed that too?
So, okay?
No, he's still
Not
suffering
okay.
from depression. Yeah.
Hope that this show doesn't do that to you.
Ten seconds, Tom.
Trajan Wealth, K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So somebody wants to know on the semaglutide or tirzepatide, have you been following people? Do people report to you, Joel, on how much they're losing or what people can expect on this kind of regimen?
Yeah, what we're seeing is approximately 20% loss in body weight over the course of 12 weeks.
12 weeks, 20%. Mm-hmm. Okay. And how long does it take to start actually working where it affects your appetite?
Say for most people about 2 weeks is when they notice it significantly.
Somebody else said that they don't have a problem with physical appetite as much as it is what they call emotional eating. Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard about that? I mean,
well, that has to do with compulsion.
Do you think that it can control all types of appetite?
I believe in most cases, yes, that it can. I mean, there's always those few patients where it doesn't have any effect on them.
Have you had people ever report no effect so far?
Yes, we have.
You have?
Probably maybe 1 out of 20 people.
I wonder why, though. I wonder why.
Well, and, it may be a situation where their receptors are just different than other people's receptors because it's a very specific drug, and it only acts on one receptor in the body. So it doesn't have a global effect. It just acts on one receptor. And so I postulate that there may be some people out there with the genetic variants that doesn't have the same configuration of that receptor. That being said, with patients that don't respond well or that reach a plateau, we recommend that they move from semaglutide to tirzepatide. And almost invariably, the tirzepatide does the trick and gets them to their weight loss goals that they want to reach. And that's been our experience. So for a handful of patients, we move them over to tirzepatide, and they do just fine. Some people start with tirzepatide. Some people that have been on semaglutide for a while and have plateaued switch then to tirzepatide. So tirzepatide is a really valuable drug when semaglutide isn't doing the job that people want. But that's like I said, about maybe 1 out of 20 patients.
All right. By the way, on another text, it says, Tom, money has been proven to be the dirtiest, most disgusting materials we have. Okay. That might be true, but what I'm saying is I can't remember. I swear to God, I can't remember the last time I touched money. I can't remember the last time. I mean, do you carry cash? Do you, Joel? Do you carry?
I do. I carry
cash. You do?
Yeah.
What for? Do you pay things with cash? No, I'm serious. I have not. Even a bottle of water sometimes when I'm getting gasoline. I mean, I don't. But come to think of that, credit cards could be.
I think it's just a habit. I've always carried cash. It's always been
credit cards, though. If you think about it, your credit card, well, if you tap it, maybe not. But
But it's plastic versus like a porous paper. Yeah. I think it wouldn't trap as much.
Do you use cash for anything?
Just when traveling, but I always seem to have
like
cash
for
on
tips,
me.
you mean, or what?
Yeah, exactly. Or a little emergency, whatever. A credit card machine goes down in a kiosk.
I'm totally, if I think about cash, I don't remember when I had it last. And anyway, someone else said that, so money. I don't doubt money. Again, I just don't think it's as plentiful as it used to be. I might be wrong, but, maybe a valet tip. But even now, more and more of these guys are doing Venmo. They send you a Venmo request, or you tap their phone, or you look at their little QR code, and send them money. And as an aside, be very careful. It's so easy with Venmo to put 500. And that's, for a $5 tip, that's 500. I'm serious now. That's what it does. It doesn't fill in. it's like so easy to type 500 instead of $5. And that could ruin your day. So anyway, somebody else said when it comes to inflation, we should look at what toilet paper is costing. I haven't noticed that actually with toilet paper and what the price is. Okay, someone else wants to know this. How long do used cars typically sit at a dealership before someone buys them? All right, I don't know that. I do know this. There is some kind of a myth that if a car sits a long time, it might be cheaper. Now that's true for used cars more so than new cars. New cars are on a floor plan. New cars get more expensive as they keep them. And a floor plan is like a big line of credit they use to buy cars. That doesn't mean they don't want to get rid of them. If they perceive a car is not moving, they will get rid of them, but they will, and they will probably offer a deal, but it's not automatic. And I don't know what the average, I really don't know what the average is they keep used cars, and I don't know if there is an average, really. I think it depends on the car. Somebody else wants to know about a cheaper, old, reliable car. Okay, I'm going to say this again when it comes to cheap. This is really important. And I hope you understand what I'm saying. I think by now you know that most cars, most in the middle ranges have the same, even to the lower expensive range, they all have the same quality. In general, when it comes to longevity. Meaning, they're all going to last you about the same if you take care of them the same. Except for obvious junk, like Range Rovers and stuff like that. But if you get a normal Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Toyota, Nissan, Acura, those cars, if you treat them all the same, they're going to last you about the same. So what does that mean? That means then that if you're looking for transportation and not status and nothing like that, you simply want transportation. You avoid the high-end cars. They depreciate quickly and they are expensive with maintenance no matter what you get. And the low cars, nothing wrong with those. But here's what you want. The best value in a used car, and listen carefully, the best value in a used car is the worst value in a new car. So, let me explain that. The great value in a new car, what is a great value? Toyota, Nissan. Why? Why are they great values? Because they hardly depreciate and there is a lot of desire for them. They hold value. If they hold value and they're pretty much equal to their American counterparts, a Toyota with 50,000 miles is going to go for way, way more than a Chevy with 50,000 miles. But the quality is not going to be that much different if they were both maintained the same. So when it comes to used cars, not necessarily new ones, but when it comes to used cars, you want the quickest depreciating car. You want the worst new car value. You want cars that depreciate the minute you drive them off the lot and keep depreciating more than their counterparts. Then if you buy them, your dollar is buying you more. And not only buying you more, but the car will last you just as long. So many people, for example, if they have 10 grand to spend, rather than looking at it on a mileage and depreciation, let's look at it as a dollar value. Let's say you have, maybe 10 grand is even a bad figure to use nowadays, but let's just use it as a barometer. If you had 10 grand to spend on a used car, that 10 grand will get you a way better Ford or Chevy or Buick or, American car than it will a Toyota or Nissan or Acura. You get it? Way better. Now, you would have to opt for a Toyota or an Acura or one of those Nissans with way higher mileage than you would an American car with way lower miles. And you might be thinking, they're still better quality. To a certain extent they are when they're new, but when you put miles on them, if you take care of both of them, they're both going to provide the same thing, basic transportation. So don't be fooled because they're great new car values into thinking you're going to make a great deal on a used car when you buy those vehicles. I hope that makes sense to you. 303-713-8255. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. Dan McKenzie is an estate planning attorney. If you want a will, you can go to Dan McKenzie. If you want to trust Dan McKenzie, if you want an LLC, by the way, you can do a family LLC and put assets in there that pass through without probate. Unbelievable idea. Dan McKenzie can do all kinds of smart things like that. Give him a call, McKenzie Law, 833-CO-PLANS, 833-CO-PLANS.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
Out west for folks heading through the Golden area, Highway 58 westbound is closed between 44th Avenue and Clearview Parkway due to an accident. Heading east into the Denver metro, some usual busy spots. I-25 north and southbound, no complaints through downtown. 6th Avenue eastbound, some stop and go on the off-ramp to I-25 southbound. I-70 westbound, some usual busy traffic between I-270 and York Street. I-70 eastbound, no complaints to DIA. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies. It's a warm one this week, high 80 degrees, overnight low of 53. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 84. The current temperature in Denver is 74 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Don't miss your chance to save big this Memorial Day at Lowe's. Buy one, get 150% off select interior and exterior paint and exterior stain via Lowe's gift card rebate. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details. Valid through 5/29.
You know, if you want the best deals ever on water heaters, Europlumbing, Colorado.net. EURO, Euro, as in European. Europlumbing, Colorado.net gets you the best deals. A 40-gallon tank fully installed with the old one taken out and hauled away. And that's with a new water lines, a new gas line there. That's going to cost you just $13.99. A 50-gallon, just $14.99. Any size you want, they give you the greatest price, and they want you to put them to the test on this and any plumbing repair. Europlumbing, Colorado.net, 303-668-6844. You know, retirement is something that looms for everyone, or at least you hope it does. And no matter what age you are, you can plan. If you're younger, you want to grow a nest egg. If you're older, you want to protect that nest egg, and even older, you want to turn it into income. And Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies can help you in each and every phase. They are sponsors of this show, and I am a client, and I'm proudly a client. They take care of me. They can take care of your investments, your nest egg, your safety, your security, plus they can help you with legacy planning, long-term care planning, whatever you need for your retirement to make it safe and secure. They're willing to meet with you as many times as it takes for you to feel good about them, and there's no charge, no obligation. rpcenter.com. Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, rpcenter.com, 970-663-3211, 970-663-3211. All right.
Do.
whole thing.
Yeah, yesterday I was driving and turned off Belby on Ulster. I was going to get a sandwich.
Troubleshooter Show, what is your first name? Hi, Chris. Innocent and Sir Les, what did you want to talk to Tom about on the show today?
There was, I mean, there was a pothole, but I didn't think it was near.
As good as it was.
Yeah, and I hit that thing, and it just shook the car. And I parked, and I got out, I looked at my tires and stuff like that, and it seemed to be okay. And I came that same way this morning, and they had a cone in the
Right
middle
there.
of the left turn lane. That thing was about,
All right. Hang tight just a minute, Chris. Hang tight. Listen through the phone. Yep, hang on.
that city of Denver, they need to.
I don't know why my call screeners all of a
Stop
sudden-
paying the illegals and fill the.
Tom,
Yeah, there was.
You think so?
no, he never touches anything.
Good thing I wasn't going very fast because I had slowed down to make the turn.
I don't know why. It's so weird. This keyboard just all of a sudden isn't working.
Oh.
It's like, let me see.
Leak or something, or problem with.
Oh, it is working, just not on our call screener.
10 seconds, Tom.
HI.com. Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. Let's talk to Chris. Chris, welcome to the show. What's going on, Chris?
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Good, man. What's going on?
So this is really, I have a friend. I'm calling for her, for real. Her grandfather had two houses. He paid them both off, gave one to each of his two daughters. Now this girl's aunt, she's just fed up with taking care of a house, so she just wants to give it to her for $5,000 down payment on a travel trailer.
So wait a minute. So her aunt, your friend's aunt, wants to sell her the house.
She wants to sell her the house for $5,000.
You mean like in full $5,000?
Exactly.
Wait a minute. Is there a mortgage on this house?
No, it's paid off.
Holy crap.
I know. It's like an opportunity of a lifetime. The house is valued at about $650,000 online.
What? $650,000?
Yeah, I know.
You know what? She's going to have. Hold on now.
Aunt's pretty dysfunctional.
She's going to have a big tax liability when she goes to sell it because she has no basis. But
that's exactly what I was calling about, because I remember listening to you before talking about right ways and wrong ways to do things.
Okay. Here's the thing. What is your aunt's basis in this house? It was willed to her, right?
It was just given to her, yes.
But was it given to, this is important, was it given to the aunt when it was it given to the aunt at death?
That I don't know.
Okay, because here's why, Chris. Do you know how long the aunt has owned the house?
I'm going to say like the past 10 years.
Okay. Here's why I'm asking. If the house was given to the aunt on death, it was the date she was given that home on death that it would be a basis. It would be the aunt's basis, right? No matter, or if it wasn't given on death, if the grandfather claimed it to his daughter, the aunt, 10 years ago, then it would be the grandfather's basis. But no matter what, and this is what's important, no matter what, their basis will be higher than $5,000, almost assuredly, right?
Okay. Right.
So,
yeah, for sure.
So, what your friend does not want to do is establish a $5,000 basis. And that's what she would be doing if she pays $5,000.
Okay.
So, there's a number of things that can be done. And this is really tricky, and you may want to talk to a professional, but it will minimize tax implications. Does your friend, what is her first name?
Samantha.
Does Samantha, does she want to sell the house eventually?
Probably in the distant future.
Right.
Right now, she's just actually living with her parents.
How old is she?
She's in her early 30s. Early 30s.
Okay. There's no doubt she's not going to keep this house forever, okay?
Right, right.
So hold on. And taxes are only going to get worse, not better. So it behooves her to establish a big basis on that house, as big as possible, more than 5,000. Sure. Okay. Now there are a number of things she can do. This is weird, and again, she wants to talk to a good accountant. In fact, I'd love to get one on just to answer some questions, but you may not even relate it to her so she can always call us directly. But there are a number of things. Is the aunt wealthy?
No, not at all. Very dysfunctional, and that's why she just wants to. The house is trashed inside.
So the aunt, it's unlikely the aunt will ever have an estate worth, let's say, $16 million.
No, not a chance.
Okay. Then what the aunt should probably do is gift this house. And in that way, your friend can pick up the basis that the aunt has. And it goes against the aunt's lifetime exemption. See, and your friend will not have to pay tax on a gift. Or your friend can, and now then your friend Samantha can also gift money to the aunt. There doesn't have to be.
Got it.
Okay, so there are no tax. Well, there could be a sale, and this is how it's done. The sale is done with a gift. Okay, you are gifting. You can now. This is what I have to check with an accountant, and I'm going to. In fact, Suze, let's see if we can get. I think one of our Eric is gone, but maybe one of his colleagues can come on, or maybe you can get our other accountant on, because here's what I'm thinking. There can either be a gift which establishes a basis, or she can pay $5,000 and the mortgage can be gifted, the payoff can be gifted to her. And again, if it's done properly as a gift, it gives her a pretty good basis, but she doesn't pay tax on the gift. So that's what I'm thinking. Whatever she does, she should not buy the house for $5,000.
Okay.
Because even a gift,
that's what I told her.
Even a gift of of the house, a gift, is better, because no matter what, I think the aunt has to have a higher basis than $5,000, and the whole idea is to get that basis as high as possible. And here's another thing that's very important, and that is, if she's going to fix up that house, every dime she puts in it will add to that basis, okay?
Okay.
Now, I want you to keep listening, because we're going to try to get an accountant on to talk about the additional money on the basis of that house. If I can get someone on today, we'll try to do that. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. By the way, again, Compass Insurance Group, it's important to know they do free insurance checkups for the asking, 303-996-9000. That's free insurance checkups to see you're not overinsured or underinsured. And 888heating.com for your no risk, your risk-free service fee of $28 to service one item, and that you get the service for $28. And if you need more than basic service, you then get credited the $28. That's 888heating.com.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
Out west for folks heading through the Golden area, Highway 58 westbound is closed between 44th Avenue and Clearview Parkway due to an accident. Heading east into the Denver metro, some usual busy spots. I-25 north and southbound, no complaints through downtown. 6th Avenue eastbound, some stop and go on the off-ramp to I-25 southbound. I-70 westbound, some usual busy traffic between I-270 and York Street, I-70 eastbound, no complaints to DIA. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies. It's a warm one this week, high 80 degrees, overnight low of 53. Tomorrow partly cloudy with a high of 84. The current temperature in Denver is 74 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Seasons change. Why not your tech? Upgrade now during the Dell Technologies summer sale event and save on select PCs like the XPS 16 powered by Intel Core processors. Exceptional prices await you at Dell.com/deals.
GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Genesis, that's the place you call for anything on the outside of your house, from the roofing, soffits, fascia, gutters, siding, stucco, windows, doors, decks, painting, and more. They can do it all. That's Genesis Total Exteriors, which means all of your storm damage can be done with one source of contact, one invoice, one person to deal with. Mark Szymanski, the owner that I know and trust for 20 years. Here's another thing. They're doing mold mitigation and detection, and without the fear, by the way, with honesty. That's GenesisTotalExteriors.com, 303-679-8509.
Trump being held accountable for making false business entries in his own business books.
Didn't want to hear the.
You want to hear what the accountant has to say?
Oh boy. An hour to go.
Have you noticed, Doc, when Kelly's here, we have hundreds and hundreds of calls, and when Sue's here,
yeah, right. All their problems are solved when I'm here.
right? No one wants to call.
Uh-huh. I just found out I'm going to the Rockies game tonight.
You mean the Guardians game?
What?
The Guardians game. The
Oh.
Rockies are going to be there, but I mean, the Guardians is the only team that's really going to be playing.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's not that you're a fan of the other team.
Correct.
You just think the Rockies are a
They're
drag.
terrible. Yeah.
Oh. Well, we have clubhouse this or that, so I guess there's a buffet involved. Send me there.
That's the best reason to go.
Yeah, that's the perks of daughter working for Capless.
Who are the Rockies playing tonight?
Well, Dragon just told me the Guardians.
Guardians, I believe it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
What
Is
city
that
is that?
Cleveland or Washington?
Cleveland Guardians or something like.
Yeah. it
Yeah.
used to be the
I don't
Cleveland
know.
Indians.
I'm just
Now it's
worried about what
Cleveland
I'm going to
Guardians.
wear more than anything. Coors Clubhouse seats. Yeah, something like that, John. I'm excited.
That was the other bad part about that job
Well-
I had with Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
You were in the dugout. Those foul balls come at you about one.
I'm sure they do.
And you know, there's no time.
Ten seconds, guys.
And safe Memorial Day weekend as we remember those who gave the last full measure and sacrifice for our freedoms in their service to our country. Back with you on Tuesday at 2 here on 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. You know, that question about a house where the aunt wants no money for it, just $5,000, and wants to walk away, there's got to be something wrong with that aunt. Now, you got to talk about competency because someone could later come back and challenge that, literally, because she says she's a mess, the house is a mess, but there's got to be a reason why this woman could sell it for $100,000 or $200,000. If it's a $650,000 house under normal conditions, but the house is a bit trashed, she could still get, what, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000? Come on. Now, however, if the aunt truly is sane and competent and wants to sell this house for $5,000 to her niece, think about that. That niece would only have a $5,000 basis, but it looks like, according to Professor Bing, Professor Artificial Intelligence, I may come up with a strategy. However, I want you to listen to this strategy and tell me if it will work. According to Professor Bing, it may work. And I think I may have come with a way of increasing this person's basis to $500,000 or $600,000, buying this house without any kind of an outlay but the $5,000 originally. So the aunt would still get the $5,000, but possibly raise the damn basis to $600,000. So when the recipient or the niece goes to sell it, she would have little or no capital gains except for above the basis. And I'm going to explain what I proposed to artificial intelligence and what it told me in return. Again, I want to say that I have not checked with a tax expert yet, but you're going to be amazed at this strategy. I'll talk about it coming up. I'm Tom Martino. Meanwhile, get your calls in 303-713-TALK, or of course, 303-MARTINO. I have a strategy I think is incredible.
Hour to go.
His friend Samantha.
Chopper, how's the new grandbaby?
Beautiful.
Remind me, was it another little girl or did they have a boy?
No, another little girl. There looks like there's not going to be any more choppers.
Oh, what's the little girl baby's name?
Haley.
Haley? And what's your other granddaughter's name?
Maddie.
Oh, she's a big sister.
Yes, and that's what she calls herself now.
How old's Maddie?
5.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's important.
She just had her first picnic in the treehouse yesterday.
Oh, so cute that you built her. Cool. Did she have friends over for that?
No, just Grandma.
So it'll be picnics now. You wait 10 years. Be
Yeah, I know.
Down at parties in that tree house. A little drinking, a little smoking. No boys, though. No boys.
Nope. Tom, do you copy?
Is he there?
Tommy. Must not be. My son got me a Red Chiefs Go Taylor's boyfriend sweatshirt. Troubleshooter show, please hold for Mother's Day, Chopper. And I thought, would it be funny to wear that tonight? Because it's going to be cold. Yeah. Wear it to a baseball game. I'm waiting for football season so I can piss off all the Broncos fans with my red sweatshirt.
Can I get you anything?
No, I'm
Troubleshooter show, what is your first name? Esther, hi, in a sentence or less. What did you want to talk to Tom about on the show today? Ooh.
Thanks for calling Troubleshooter Show. Please hold a moment.
All right. All right, Tiny Homes Advice. Yeah, let's ask him. Hang tight. Listen to the phone, Esther. When you hear your name, come on and give him your question. Troubleshooter Show. What is your first name? Mark, hi, in a sentence or less. What did you want to talk to Tom about on the show today? Oh, let's talk to Tom about that. Hang tight. Listen to the phone, Mark. You shouldn't be too long.
We have 2 calls while you're gone. Oh, come on.
Esther.
Oh, Case. I hope Chopper knows I was kidding with him. His granddaughter would never drink or smoke as a teenager, ever in her whole entire life, especially since he's a cop.
I guarantee she won't smoke, but.
Well, yeah, vape. Okay, nicotine vape. Have you heard of Zins?
I had to put up with 2 boys that did that for a couple years.
And I wasn't talking cigarettes either, just so you know.
I knew you weren't.
I thought
Anymore, I mean, when my kids were in high school, if one of their friends starts smoking cigarettes, they get looked down on. Kids are like, what the heck is your problem smoking cigs? Some Marlboros, Capris. Or remember those long, skinny ones? I do when I was a kid, the Capris.
Virginia Slims.
Virginia menthol. To make it feel extra burn on the lungs. Cops have the best weed. Yes, they do, Kendall.
And fireworks.
And fireworks.
Getting old when you cut back on fireworks because you're afraid of burning down the neighbors' houses.
Right.
In my youth, it didn't matter. It seemed like. You have to go to Cheyenne this year, though. No, for fireworks.
Oh, yeah, right.
I've never been to Frontier Breeze. I've never been to Greeley Stampede either.
Case says, I'm going to Chopper's house for the 4th. Party.
You have any horses, Sue?
No, we have a horse property, like a barn and stable thing, but it's cute without the horses. It's cute enough without horses.
True.
You'll have to come out sometime.
I tell you, a good animal is goats, except for they eat everything that you own.
Oh.
10 seconds, guys.
Full coverage of the closing arguments in the politically motivated trial of Donald Trump and look ahead to the effect that the outcome is going to have on this great nation. Join me at 4.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the show. This hour brought to you by GrossmanWellness.com. Grossman is where I go. And every 3 months, get blood work, get my prescriptions, get my supplements all under one plan. Monthly wellness and blood work. All of it's included with a low monthly fee. I say low, it's a few $100 a month, depending on your plan. 303-233-4247, GrossmanWellness.com. Welcome to the show. Speaking of health, I also have Dr. Joel Cherdak with me at DenverRegen.com, which is doing compounded semaglutide and tirzepatide for weight loss. Let's talk to Esther. She has a tiny homes advice, or she wants advice on tiny homes. That's a new trend, of course, in around the country. Smaller homes, tiny homes that are really, really kind of cool. Anyway, go ahead, Esther. What did you want to know about?
I just don't know where to turn, to be honest. I mean, we went and checked out an RV, what do you call it, park in Montrose. And Montrose, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not from Colorado. I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. Montrose is stunning. I was like blown away by
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. And it's near Telluride. It's just beautiful. Yeah.
Right. So, but I didn't like the park. The park was like, it was like a place you would go for a vacation.
Now, are you talking about these tiny homes that are in RV parks that look kind of like long and narrow, and they're like they're pine, or they look like little log cabins?
Well, they could be. There's several terms that are thrown out there for tiny homes. I've done some research.
Right.
But there's a park model is what we were looking at, and it's like a manufactured.
Yeah, that's a little different than a tiny home. It's a manufactured home on a frame, and it's set up in a semi-permanent basis in a park. And
exactly.
Is the exterior kind of like a wood?
Yeah, I think it is. You're right.
Yeah, they look kind of like little log cabins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, they make them all in different kinds.
They're kind. Some of them are really beautiful. They have some up in. Suze, you've seen some of those up in Breckenridge, right? Where we used to go, and you go.
Tiger Run. Now they were always called chalets.
They call them different
ones.
things. They call them different things. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And so we've got some names of some, manufacturer, but I'm like, the one that we were looking at, it's out of Goshen, Indiana, and I'm like,
what is it called?
I don't know. It's called, it's KNOPF, but it's pronounced Croft, KROPF.
But it's spelled K-N?
No.
K-N, I mean?
Yeah. K-R-O-P as in Peter, F.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, listen, here's what I want to know, though, and this is important. This park model home, I've seen them before. These are really kind of cute, and are you thinking about buying one directly and putting it on your own land?
What we're thinking about is buying one and putting it on a friend who said that we could put it on her land.
Well, hold on.
And
So
the main, right.
Okay, I don't want to get into all that. That could be complicated, of course, because
Right.
if you have a falling out, you got to go move it. So what is your question about the Croft model?
Well, yeah, I just don't. I have no. I mean, everything you look on the internet, of course, about them, it's gonna be good.
No. They're good. No, they're definitely good quality. They're good quality. Your problem isn't for what you're getting. How much do they want for it?
It's $130,000.
Yeah, they're excellent quality. Okay, for God's sakes, it's like a luxurious motorhome, and the motorhomes would go for twice or three times that or more.
Right.
I don't think you have a problem with the actual manufacturer of this home and the price. The reason they're so reasonably priced is it's done under. It's a manufactured home, and it's done under controlled circumstances, and they're very good quality. They have very good ratings. The problem isn't with the home. The problem, listen carefully, will be with the transportation, the setup, and the land. Be very careful.
Right.
There are all kinds of restrictions you have to worry about when it comes to transporting them, when it comes to setting them up, and who will allow them. They're beautiful homes. They're like a big motorhome without the motorhome.
Yeah, they are. And you're right. I mean, that's really where we're at now. Because
Now, the
my
friend that says you can set them up on, how good of a friend is this?
She's incredible. She's got such a giving heart, and I know she's.
Now,
you know,
does
she's
she
always
live on this land, or is it going to be exclusively
Yes, she
for
does.
you?
But no, she lives on the land. She's getting married this fall, so she's going to be. I don't really know. I think that when you sell property, I guess can't you put a contingency that so and so can still stay on the property? You know what I'm saying?
Not really. I mean, you can, but
No, you can't do that.
You'd have to subdivide it. Of course, you could always do that, but I need to know this, though.
Yeah.
This is where the danger signs come up for me. First of all, what size lot does she have that she says you can put the house on?
Oh, it's over. It's like an acre and a half. About. She's had an RV on her property before.
An
What
RV.
about water and sewer? How would that work?
That's
on
what
the
I'm getting
friend's
at.
Property.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what
Does
we need
she
to
have?
figure out.
Here's what we have to ask. Does she have, first of all, a home on that property?
Yes, she does.
Is it in a municipality?
It is in it's county.
It's unincorporated.
It's Larimer
in
County.
what county?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
What county?
Larimer.
Okay. Now,
Larimer. Yeah.
you have to see a mobile home is sometimes allowed to be there because if somebody lives there, they can have a mobile home there. Excuse me, not a mobile home, a motor home there. A manufactured house is completely different. You never want to spend $130,000 and find out that this home is not allowed to be there. And that is what my fear is. What you're really doing is you're doubling the occupancy of that lot. Now, does she have neighbors?
Yes, she does.
Well, you have to see if covenants and zoning and building on all of those ordinances will accept that home there on a permanent basis. Otherwise, you could be screwed. And the other thing is this. If she sells her house, you don't necessarily get to write in there that someone else can stay on there and still sell that house. And if she runs into that problem, she may have to say to you, I can't sell my house. I thought I could, but you're going to have to leave. Or you get a new owner who's on there, and the next thing they do is try to get you off of there. There's too many contingencies. I would rather you buy your own lot to put this house on. You know, but even then, when you buy your own lot, it must be a lot that allows these kinds of homes. Not many lots allow these kinds of homes. That's why they're called park models, because they're usually made for parks.
Right. No, I get what you're saying. And
they're not made. Now, there are some mining claims you can buy. There are some big acreage lots you can buy where people don't care what you put on them, and then you could buy it and put this up. But as Sue said, you still have to worry about sewer and water and electricity.
Yes. And all these things we've considered. This is what's like sticking with my husband. He doesn't want to. He's kind of like on the fence about it because of those three things. You're absolutely right. My friend said that, you know, her property is so secluded that, I mean, you couldn't really see from the road. She said, you don't even, why bother us telling the attorney? I'm like,
well, my God, because once it doesn't matter how secluded. Once they find out about it, the last thing in the world you want is for someone to tell you to move.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, after you set it all up. Also, do they have septic and water? What do they have? Where would you hook up septic and water?
She has a septic system.
But how much will it cost to dig over to it to tap in? And is it big enough to accommodate both? And will the state allow you to do it? There are state laws regarding septic systems as to how many people can be on it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, there are. There are health department rules, which means, listen, you can't just go set up something because someone says you can. There are rules and regulations. And water. What about water? Will you have to dig a well?
No. The water. I forget what she told me about the water now.
It sounds It sounds ill-planned to me. I don't mean to burst your bubble.
Okay.
Esther.
No. I'm glad. I'm glad you're telling me that, because this is exactly, you are framing exactly what my husband's thoughts were. He wasn't able to put it to, but you're right. These are a lot of things we need to consider.
Otherwise, you're making a $130,000 investment and you got a problem because you have nowhere to put it.
Yes.
That's why they're usually set up in mobile home parks and RV parks. Now, you said you didn't like the park, but is there a park you do like where you can put it?
You know what? The parks that I looked at, I'm not sure they had any space, but I could go back and ask.
No, you're right. Now, there might be and even if you find your own land, don't put money down on land or buy it until you know that they will accommodate these homes, because these are considered modular or mobile homes, and a lot of people do not like them. They do not like them.
Yes, you're right.
I think they're darling, but I think they deserve a place. Now, keep another thing in mind, Esther. More and more communities are opening up to the idea of more than one abode on a lot. For example, all over the country, they're trying to cure homelessness or make more affordable housing by allowing people to do this. But until those laws go through, you can't assume you can do it. You must check all of the laws first before investing in this, okay? You know, another thing you might want to consider is buying a conventional lot in a subdivision. What is your budget, by the way?
It's below $200,000.
It's going to be very difficult to get a home for under $200,000 with a lot. Do not buy a house. Do not buy a house for $130,000 and then think on the goodness of a friend's heart you're going to be able to put it there. Why not just ask that friend to sell her to buy her house? Is her house paid for? Do you know?
You know, you're brilliant. You really are.
She may sell you she may sell you that house for a deal where you can put some money down and make payments to her. She may even own or finance it where she can have payments coming in. I'm just saying I don't want to see you get into trouble.
Oh my gosh, you are so smart. I did, yeah, because she was trying to figure out what to do with the house. She's marrying someone who's very wealthy, and
so rather than put a house on there, you got a house already. The house is legal. You can buy that house, or rent that, or lease the house. You can lease it with the option to buy. That would be way safer than buying a house and hoping you can piggyback on the lot. That's what I would do. So try it, and if you need any more information, let us know for sure. Kevin's got a comment. Kevin, what is your comment, sir? What is your comment?
Well, I worked at the S Word one time selling insurance for State Farm. And we tried to insure those kind of people with those homes. If they couldn't get mail delivered there, they couldn't get insurance.
Wow. That's a good point. These are not really considered homes. They're not like, I don't think they're HUD approved. I think they're literally like a stationary motorhome almost. They really are. But I think that parks are set up for them. Parks are set up for them. In fact, if I was going to go to a mobile home park, I'd rather have one of these than a mobile home. They're different. They're totally different. And they're better quality. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
Regen Revolution has helped me so much in terms of getting mobile and active again, and now they'll be helping me and you at their new location near Old Town in Arvada. It's an expanded facility, so an even better version of the great care you've come to know from Regen Revolution. The combination of regenerative medicine and more traditional treatment modalities have gotten me back to being able to play sports and exercise in ways I thought I might never do again. Learn more at regenrev.com. That's REGENREV.com.
Made in the shade, that's what you are when you use made in the shade. You know that expression, hey, I'm made in the shade. It denotes easy street or taking it easy or relaxing, and that's what you can do with made in the shade. They come to your house and take care of all your window coverings. Okay, if it's a new place or you're improving your place, they measure everything to the infinite, I don't even know what that means, they use a laser measurement, and they do really microscopic measurements, making them perfect. They do installation, they do design consulting, they do it all. They try to meet your budget. You only go forward if you want to. All of the measuring and estimating is free, and you'll love the way they do business with the best installers, and that is Made in the Shade. 720-458-6566, denvershades.co. Okay, hold on. Get some of these done.
Who said damn?
Ten seconds, Tom.
TrajanWealth.com. 630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Don't forget Genesis TotalExteriors.com now for mold mitigation and detection without the fear. Genesis TotalExteriors.com. You'll get straight information. Now, let's see. I have a text, and by the way, we have lines open at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Tom, last month, my aunt had 2 checks written, and she put in her outgoing mailbox with the little red flag that goes up. You see, that tells the mail person that you have you have mail going out, and she had checks in there. Most people know when you put the red flag up, you have checks. They took the checks, somebody took the checks out of the outgoing mail, wiped them clean, and made them out to themselves. Warn older people primarily not to put mail in their box for the mailmen to pick up, especially checks. And that's true, because people are on the lookout for outgoing mail, knowing or thinking that it might be bills you're paying. They can take those checks and reroute them to themselves. It's easy to what's called wash a check and to put another person on there, or not even that. They can literally just take the check and sometimes cash it. That's how little some of these banks pay attention. This is another question. Tom, it says Tom or Mark. Is Mark around, Suze?
He's not.
Okay. Because I'm sure he'd have something to say about this. Tom or Mark, I have a question. Why do people blame Biden for inflation? That's interesting. That's very interesting. Why? And here's why presidents are blamed for inflation. When the president and Congress, or not just, Senate and representatives, both collectively known as Congress, but or their lawmakers and the president, I shouldn't say only, but they're responsible for fiscal budgets and spending, and the monetary functions are the Fed and the Treasury. But Biden and his teams, or what they call the administration, they're in charge of the fiscal policies, and that's budget and spending. Also, this loan forgiveness and all of this is all part of the presidency, right? The executive orders and stuff. So when a president, any president, I'm not saying Biden, but any president increases spending, and they increase the money supply by forgiving debt or that kind of thing, it adds to inflation. You can't just put a lot of government money into the system with government spending and not have an impact on inflation. So what Biden and his people did, and what a lot of presidents do, again, I'm not trying to make this a political thing, but you ask, how can Biden be blamed? Let's just put it this way. How can a president be blamed. Not just a president, but a president and his supporters, his administration can be blamed for inflation by their policies, their fiscal policies. You know, they don't do the discount rates and the Fed and all that, the money supply directly, but when they increase spending and pour more money into circulation, you have more money in general causing inflation. That's a way inflation is caused. Another way is by forgiving debt and doing that kind of thing. So people, that's how inflation begins, and then it's fueled further by the cost of money being cheaper than it should be. And then that grows, and that's where the Fed comes in and try to quell the inflation by raising rates to try to slow it down. So you had Biden on one end, listen, doing what he called inflation reduction by actually increasing spending. He did just the opposite of what you should do. Everyone knew the Inflation Reduction Act would not reduce inflation. They just gave it a name. It's so stupid. To call it an Inflation Reduction Act and you actually increase spending is so contrary to logic. But he was allowed to get away with it. But I'm not saying it's because I don't like the guy, although, I have my own thoughts on him. I think his policies are crazy when it comes to the economy. Now, other people would argue that he's done great and that it was Trump's policies in the beginning that led to this. But again, everyone does that. Everyone. If you're in office as a president and things are not going great, you blame the previous administration. If things go great, you take credit. And then the next president will do exactly the same. They will never, ever, ever take blame. Have you ever once ever heard a president ever take blame? Ever? I want to know if you have. I heard one president come close to taking blame. Do you know who that was? He didn't actually even take it personally, but he did in a way. He said, we all have to tighten our belts. And who was it? It
was Carter.
Carter. Jimmy, that's exactly right. And you know what? Joel, people didn't like Jimmy Carter for that. They didn't like him because they thought he was pessimistic. He didn't lie to them. In fact, he was probably one of the most honest presidents we ever had in our lives.
Yeah.
And he didn't last because of it.
Nope.
Isn't that weird? It's very, very weird. He was a very good, he's still alive, right? He's a good man.
He's just hanging on. He's barely hanging his
What a good person.
His
See,
grandson
good people,
said he's just about out.
Good people don't make good presidents.
No.
They just don't. And then, of course, then you had a lot of people thought Reagan was honest, just a good, honest man. Who knows?
As honest as an actor from California can be.
But if you think about who we have had as presidents and who've made good impacts, if you think about Clinton was not that super liberal when you think about it. He was not. Bush was not that super conservative. You've had some pretty, we had a variety of presidents over the years. I think Biden is the most liberal president we've had way more liberal than Obama, way more. And as far as conservative, I don't know. Trump wasn't that conservative. He was conservative. Who was?
Well,
I think Reagan. I think Craig
has changed.
Yeah.
Because once this Bush W got in office, then all the fear about overspending kind of went away, and both conservative and liberal,
they all started
Democrat
spending.
and Republican spending.
I know. And then again, there's the thing called buying votes, and that's what people are doing. That's what people do. They pander for votes. They know that there's certain numbers of people that will vote and certain numbers that are not big enough to make a difference. That's why everyone goes after billionaires. It's such a small class. Not that they shouldn't go after. I don't know. I'm just saying that it's a small class. Whereas if you pay off student loans for people or forgive student loans and you go for minimum wage, what you're going is for the masses. You're buying votes. That's all there is to it. Okay, we got more coming up. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Renew Home Innovations, the best showers, the lowest prices. And I don't just mean low price. Here, let me put it this way, fair prices. But what I love is this. They do beautiful custom showers, and I mean it. It changes your entire bathroom. Getting rid of those old, ugly tub showers, never see them again, would be too soon for me. And here's what I love about them. 72 months to pay with no interest. 303-904-2000. Thanks. How much time then, since I don't have a break?
6.
Thank you, bro.
6 minutes.
This is 40 ounces.
Oh, yeah.
I never realized. I put hot coffee in the son of a bitch, and it will last forever.
It'll stay hot.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like any insulated. They just came up with the Stanley Cup. So I have one at the gym. I love my reverse osmosis water, but in general, I hate drinking water. Do you enjoy drinking water?
I don't.
I don't. I have to force myself. Although drinking this water is way easier than drinking anything else.
I try and drink a ton when I'm at the gym. I try to get all my hydration in there. Because it's hard for me.
Today's a gym day for me. So let me ask you something as a doc, as a chiropractor specialist. So I've been working out, baby, and I was always told there's two schools of thought. You know, the ice thing, the rice.
Yeah, rice elevation.
Yeah, but a lot of, you know, like the prolotherapy doctors say, let it swell a little, let it get ready, let it heal. I mean, let the process work, like the fibroblast cells and all that, and the healing. I mean, you know, that's the prolotherapy type. Like even with, what do you call it? Like the, not the stem cell, but the other one.
PRP?
Yeah, that's that theory.
Similar.
So I have not been bathing yet. I've been working out, doing all the legs and all the abductor and all the regular muscles and not bathing. Now it stays sore longer, I think, but I'm wondering, what do you think? Should you lay off shit when it's injured?
For the first
Probably
24
not
to
gonna
48
get too
hours, ice. Don't
Probably
use
won't get too many.
because it's going to swell anyway, and there's no reason to exacerbate the swelling. It'll just restrict motion. It'll slow down the healing. So you want to slow some of that swelling. So you use ice for the first 24, 48 hours, depending on how bad it is, and then you can use contrast of ice and heat. Start to use the body part. You know, if it really starts to hurt you, or if it gets worse after you exercise it, then lay off of it. But that's really the one thing I say. That's where like the differences in opinion come, is when do you use ice versus heat. That's my opinion. Is initially you always want to use.
I was
ice.
told that from the purists that ice cuts the healing, that you want it to be immobilized.
Yeah, but everything is a degree of something, you know. So, for example, like if you use ice, technically, if you used ice and put it on a part of your body for like over 20 minutes and froze it, your body compensates by dilating the blood vessels and swelling it even more. So they tell you not to leave ice on for more than 20 minutes. But the reality is if you've got an ice pack and you've got it on your body for 20 minutes, by the end of 20 minutes, that ice pack's not that cold anymore. So it doesn't really matter. But you know, you don't want to increase the swelling. That's my opinion. There's no reason. You get enough of it.
Okay.
Use the ice packs because they're going to cool. They're going to warm up after 20 minutes anyway. Use them intermittently over the course of
But
the
doesn't
first.
swelling also cause more blood to go into the area?
It does, but you don't want so much that it's like a congested area. You know what I mean? Like you don't want it to be so swollen that you can't move it. It all depends on the severity of the injury too.
But I was told that was almost God's way of immobilizing you because of swelling. I don't know.
Yes and no.
It's
but
a self-immobilization.
you don't want to make it so bad that it's just counterproductive over time. I mean, that's what I always tell patients, you know, sprain, strain injury, use ice for the first 48 hours, intermittently, 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off. And then after that, you can alternate between ice and heat. Because the heat will. When did I stop adjusting people? It's been about 12 years. It's been about 12 years since I've actively adjusted patients. Everything I've done after that has just been basically looking at x-rays and MRIs. It's Friday. Saturday. Saturday.
God damn, are we getting through these months?
When did he answer that text? He hasn't even moved.
What, Tom?
Yeah, I sent him a text. He hasn't even moved, and he answered it. Oh no, I guess he's doing it now.
10 seconds, guys.
Later, a lot has changed. A lot of competition has come and gone. Some things haven't. We're still saving our customers money. Call 303-469-0808. Visit bestwayinsulation.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show, folks. Dr. Churdek, this is, and we're talking about, I have a text now about stem cell because we said you did stem cells. Now, when stem cells and when PRP, when do you call that? And that's a good one because PRP is a pretty damn good therapy. And let's talk about that. PRP is platelet-rich plasma.
Yes.
It's your own blood's concentrated plasma or platelets and then re-injected.
Correct.
To the site of injury.
Correct.
What does it do?
So, in our experience, we'll recommend PRP therapy if somebody has up to a small muscle tear. So, a chronic sprain, strain, chronic ligament injury, chronic tendon injury, small muscle or tendon tear, it will repair those types of injuries. When you're talking about a larger muscle tear like a rotator cuff, when you're talking about a degenerative arthritic joint, it's just not powerful enough to regenerate the tissue to a point where you have a lasting long-term solution. I know there are some clinics that will inject PRP into a knee or a hip or a shoulder, but those are really more for temporary relief or for minor inflammation. If you've got a major injury or major degeneration, stem cell therapy is the only thing that's going to really regenerate the tissue.
All right. Someone else said that if you use stem cells for hair regrowth, have you monitored patients and gone back to them? I know because we talked about Denver Regen doing some hair stuff, some hair restoration. Have you gone back and what are the results?
And we've been doing it now for about 2 years.
So how is it?
It takes about a full year to get your full hair back in thirds.
But does it really come back, or is it just like how? Look at mine. Okay, I have really thin hair, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I have it real short now because you know what? When you have thin hair, it looks stupid when it's like you look like Einstein, a crazy Einstein. But in any case, I don't mind the way my hair is. I mean, but does it really fill in somebody like me? Does it really?
For somebody like you, it would.
Because I'm not totally bald.
Because you don't have a total bald spot. You have thinning hair. So just the stem cell treatment to regenerate hair growth will really thicken up all the thinning areas and regenerate hair. Yes.
Yeah, and
so, but if you have a bald spot, a bald area, what we recommend is a full hair transplant.
Well, yeah.
with
That's
stem
where
cells.
that's where you actually do all of the transplanting.
Right, and we add stem cells, which other clinics don't do. We add stem cells to that procedure. So we have two procedures: one to regenerate thinning hair, which is the stem cell procedure, and one to do a full hair transplant with your own stem cells.
So if
as
someone
well.
wanted to have the thickening done, like me, and I'm asking for this texture, hint. No, I really am. But seriously, is it like a helmet of needles? I mean, how do you do all of the areas that have to be injected? I mean that sincerely. How do you do it? Do you just take and start just going all over the head?
Not quite like that. So what we'll do is we'll use nerve blocking with a small insulin needle and
Sure.
around the scalp line.
Yeah.
So that the top of the crown of the head is numb.
Yeah.
And then we have different types of needles. We have a multi-port injector.
So it is like a little pad with a bunch of needles in it.
Yeah, that's one way we go across the head that way. And then we take different needles of different lengths, so you get to different depths of area within the scalp.
But it's not that painful?
No, because we know, like I said, we numb up the scalp.
Now, how long does the procedure take?
It takes about 3 to 4 hours to do that.
Wow.
To do that. A full hair transplant's a full day, a morning of doing
Well,
the
yeah, but I'm
extraction.
talking about just the injection.
Just the stem cell procedure alone for regenerate thinning hair takes about 3 or 4 hours.
And you've seen results, literally.
Yes.
Would there be a reason why it doesn't work? Have you had it where it doesn't work, or people are disappointed, or?
Not really. No, we haven't. As long as the objectives are clear, we're not going to recommend somebody that has a full balding area, just the rejuvenation. We're going to say to them, look, if you really want the result you're looking for, you're going to need a hair transplant with the stem cell therapy. Now, we evaluate each case on a case-by-case basis. So we have you send us pictures of your scalp, and our team goes over that with you, comes up with a plan, talks about what your goals will be.
And where do you get the stem cells?
We get the stem cells from both bone marrow from the hip and from adipose tissue, from fat and bone marrow mixed together.
So you do both?
Yes.
So when I had my stem cell in my lower back, where'd you get? You got mine from the bone, right?
Right. We just, for lower back procedures only, we just use the bone marrow based stem cells, and we mix that with umbilical cord cells that we get from a supplier.
Okay.
And that's our back procedure.
Right.
For most other joint procedures, we use a patient's own fat with their own bone
It was
marrow.
amazing what happened. It really was amazing. Like I told you, man, I damn near just forewent surgery completely. And my doctor said, that's fine, you don't have symptoms, but your physical ailment is so bad that it's going to resurface, but it was remarkable with that much physical damage, how stem cells could take away pain.
Well, I remember we looked at your images and we decided, well, let's just give it a try and hope that you get something.
It was amazing. I mean, like I said, if I didn't have such bad physiology, I just didn't want to be faced with this bad physiology in 10 years. But I was amazed. But like I told you before, one of the one of the challenges you guys have is it was so slow over a 4-month period, I had forgotten why I got so better.
Right.
I'd forgotten it because it was so, and I kept getting better and better. And then I think Stephanie says, Tom, that stuff really worked.
Yep. And we've changed the protocol since you've had it done.
It's even better?
Yeah, we have another product that we add.
What do you do?
We have a product called microvascular tissue. And
What's that?
It's used in heart surgeries and used in vascular surgeries to repair heart and vascular tissue. It's a regenerative product.
Yeah.
But once we've started adding this to our procedures, we see patients starting to feel better within 2 to 3 weeks rather than a month or two.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's a month or 2 or 3 or 3 weeks if it really works, and it really did. So anyway, denverregen.com, more coming right up.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Colorado Department of Transportation.
Some relief for folks heading to DIA this afternoon. I-70 eastbound, a recent nasty crash at Chambers has been all cleared up. We're still seeing slow traffic back from Central Park Boulevard, about 10 minutes of delays. As a result, some stop-and-go traffic I-225 northbound between Colfax and I-70. Heading to the west end of town, west of downtown, 6th Avenue eastbound at Perry Street, a stall in the right lane has slow driving back from Sheridan Boulevard. Further west through Jeffco, US 6 eastbound is closed due to an accident between Colorado 119 and Colorado 93. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, warm week ahead of us, high 80, partly cloudy skies, overnight low 53. The current temperature in Denver is 77 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Seatbelts save lives. 3 out of 5 rollover deaths weren't buckled up. Nobody is above the laws of physics. Buckle up and shift into safe. A message from CDOT.
You know, I love the words discount and bath put together. Those are words you don't normally find, but discountbath.com, I like these guys, man. They have an array of bathrooms they can do for you at bargain prices, and they're beautiful bathrooms. The entire bath. Now, here's one thing I really like. The tear out and haul away is free for the old bath. Now, that's like a $3,000 value in some cases, but I want you to check them out. They have quality remodels, transparent upfront pricing, warranties on all work and labor, lifetime warranties on some of the shower wall systems. I want you to check them out. 720-979-2322. That's 720-979-2322, discountbath.com.
Are you? If you know what you're doing, you go through Bronco Boulevard, you wind yourself through to get back to Parker, right? Off of Rappel Road. But they never. They're just. My dad just had a famous saying, they're literally trying to put 8 pounds of shit in a 4-pound bag. That's what he used to always say, It just ain't.
Not gonna happen.
No.
Right.
Oh, when I started flying, Rappel Road, after about where Regis was, it was dirt. Now when I moved in, it was 2 lanes, and that was rough after a while, right? Until they made it, like it is now. And thank God they gave us a street light at our development to get out.
Okay. She doesn't even tell me I've got mail. She comes
Well,
and slams it
going
down,
west,
and
yeah.
like
But if
literally,
you had to
I've
go
almost
east,
said something.
you better
to
go
her,
west.
but I don't want to deal with her anymore. Gail and Nichols.
Why does that sound so? Does that sound different? That commercial? Volume or something sounds a lot different. Whoa. Is that it, sports fans?
We're close.
Yeah. I think Sue's doing her homework.
And she had a stack of mail, so
Yes, she did.
going through that.
Well, apparently Kelly knows how to do the YouTube thing, huh?
Yeah, she
Grew up in New
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
Not in the city.
I don't know why Mark had
In the
to do that.
about 100 miles north. No, it was Catskill, but we were oriented. We
That's
were.
where I went to summer camp every year.
Yeah, that's where I would entertain the people in summer camps and summer resorts. We had I worked
I may have came up with a solution.
The Italian belt, the Porsche, Irish.
This guy, I don't know if you
I just know that. I just know.
bought a
There were
rusty
German,
RV.
German, Irish, and Italian.
Had all kinds of rust on the bottom of it.
So,
brand new,
or in
but
the
a
country,
year old, but
not just the
brand
Hudson
new.
River, but they were all north of New York.
And
So
no one wants to do anything.
that's where all the resorts were used. Germany,
Attorneys
like
would be
Schmalzingers,
$10,000 and everything.
Singers. Was
No, I
it
know
Jewish?
Grossinger's.
Oh, yeah, Jewish
I
too.
mean,
That's
my
right.
grandparents had their 50th
As a child,
anniversary at Grossinger's.
my
So
dad
we
was
had
an auto
Jewish,
He
we
would
had German,
rewire
Irish,
a lot
and
of-
Italian.
all
Those
the
were the
wires in,
yeah,
a lot of
I forgot about the
old
Jewish
Italians that were
So,
buying old Model A's and
Concord
T's and
right
rest.
down the street from
Before he would do them,
Concord Hotel.
he'd just send them to a
10 seconds here, Tom.
Tremendous and safe Memorial Day weekend as we remember those who gave the last full measure and sacrifice for our freedoms in their service to our country. Back with you on Tuesday at 2 here on 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So, it's weird, some of the questions I get texted. Okay, one here is, my son ran his car 60 miles on low oil. What should I do? Nothing. You can do an oil analysis if you want, but here's the deal. 60 miles on low oil is nothing. You can, as long as it wasn't out completely, and even if it's out completely, obviously you shouldn't drive at all, but believe it or not, there are some cars, even when you're out, if it was a good quality oil, have enough viscosity to keep it from seizing. It would all have to do with the temperatures and other indications. But on low oil, 60 miles, I wouldn't even give it a thought. That's for sure. Also, somebody wants to know, what is the difference between depreciation of houses and cars? Well, okay. Cars have a lifespan, a total lifespan. I mean, think about it. Okay, we can say 10 years, but okay, let's even say 10 years, okay? If a car has a lifespan of 10 years, and it's more like 8, but you would have more depreciation because theoretically it's not worth much at the end of that. Whereas a house can be around 50 and 60 years, so obviously would have less actual depreciation of actual cash value. But then you have something called market. In cars, the market goes down. In homes, the market goes up. So you have appreciation as well. By the way, I want to tell you, denverregen.com to get a hold of Joel for weight loss or stem cell therapy or hair replacement, denverregen.com. I'm Tom Martino. Remember to call 303-MARTINO. You can call 303-627-8466 24/7 for your help, information, and referrals. Save all your problems for me. See you guys.
Follow Tom.
I'm not waiting for them to say goodnight.